the weapon. The guy amekuwa industrial area all along. We've been trying to release him on bond until it was, I think, on Thursday when we managed to get him out. So you, hata wewe ukienda the right way, I want you to know the government wants you to go the right way. It is not playing fair. If they are not playing fair, why are we playing fair? Mbona hii maandamano isikuwe every other day? Because where we are right now, like the government will not be defeated where we are right now if tutaanza kukua lenient. Tunasema wanapigana mawe ati sisi tusipigane mawe. Like no, time for democracy for me, I really believe it's over. Return fire with fire. Evil too, that is all I'll say. Do what you have to do to protect yourself, because ukilia, no one is listening to you. You still die anyway. So that is me and that is my submission.
Troy, I want to tell you a fact. And the fact is that the prison infrastructure system was built for men, young men like you in this country. It's a young men who overpopulate the prison system. It's a young men who people are profiting on in terms of the tenders they're getting to maintain the prison. It's a young man like your friend alishikwa on some inflated, bogus charges, which of course, if a good magistrate or judge is to listen to that case, following our evidence, atamwachilia. It's a young man like huyo, wanajua, especially the ones from the poor community, wanajua hawezi afford kulipa bail. Kwa sababu hawezi afford kulipa bail, akatakuwa katawa masi. If we want this country to move ahead, if we want to change our laws, we have an opportunity to do that. We find that there are these laws, we have to do away with them. We do away with them. But we must understand that the number of young men who are dying and impoverishing in the prison system are so many. And so we cannot turn them on the dishes like that. And that's why I really loved LSK. LSK has come out, has followed the law, has cornered them on the law, and that's why they are releasing people on even a zero bail. If it did not stand on the rule of law, then it becomes very different. So we must choose a path. Is it the path to constitutionalism, where we said, kwa nini bibi ya mtu ako na budget? Kwa nini magari mnanunua ovyo ovyo, mna repair manyumba? Kwa nini watu wanapewa appointments and they don't qualify? Why is it that we have economic crimes which are not being persecuted all the way to the end? Why isn't EACC doing its own job? Why is DPP coming every day and telling us we don't have evidence like they did yesterday? That is a rule of law. If we want the other side, which is a very dangerous side, is that we will give them. And even right now, you will see a lot of the times when the law acts for it favors them, watakimbilia waseme, section XYZ. And you saw, even when the IG for National Police Service was releasing that statement on the freedom to anchoring on the freedom of assembly and protest, Alieka, he quoted the law. And so they use the law when it favors them. And so we must call them out on that.
Okay, Doc, I think also the reason why you hear people getting angry is because even as much as we are trying to pursue the law, unaona kuna watu wanashikwa na wakireleasiwa, people are being abducted. I won't use the term arrested. People are being abducted and then they are being released without charges, and this thing goes unspoken about. I mean, this is unlawful. So people are getting angry because it's becoming a government. It's like a bad behavior they are doing, and no one is watching over them. So this thing is angering people. So that's why unasikia watu wakiongea hivi. So I don't know if we have lawyers who can help us, because it's also coming. See, the process of law is becoming unbearable for most of us. What huwezi shika mtu and then you release them without any charges, and then there's no consequences for you. You see, so it's like they have more power than we do. So wase pia wana jump juu ya hizo story. Then something I wanted to clarify. There are so many requests, and I think even on my end they are hanging. So those who are requesting and DMing me that I add, kindly note that we are trying our best. It's hanging on my end slightly, but be assured that you'll have an opportunity to speak. Sawa sawa.
Asante sana, Davis. And I totally hear you. I totally hear around the place of anger. Kabisa. Because mimi yenyewe wakishutu mtoi wangu, neza guruka kabisa. But I also totally hear on the place where watatumia tu yo ofisi ya IG na DPP na wapeane evidence na we ufungwe. Hawatajali ni hasira. So hii movement yetu tumekataa. Wakikuabduct tunaacha hashtag, tunapiga kelele na kurelease. Saizi LSK imepeleka number of public interest litigation to court. Let me tell you, a place tumetoka na judiciary ni mbali. Are they where we want it to be? No. But at least we have structures that can take us somewhere. We have structures that can take us somewhere. That's why movement, haijakuwa ultra-vires. Hakuna place tumeitisha ati any powers or any requests which are outside the ambit of the law. And that is actually what is making them uncomfortable. Angalia Menya na hiyo story ya JKIA. Right to information, by the way, very simple, which is a constitutional right. Wewe tupatie information, mlisema mlipatia Ambani hii, mlisema hii ni PPP, private public partnership. Iko wapi hizo? Iko wapi documentation? Iko wapi tendering? Iko wapi procurement? That's the thing. And so mnawafinyia hapo. Mkiwafinyia hapo, you know they stop briefing. Because they swore. I was what they swore to uphold the law. So at least if they didn't swear on that law, we have another alternative. By the way, Davis, mimi demwageto. Tunatafuta tu streetwise. But our baseline is what they swore to uphold for now. Glow. Mudeu, your hand is up. I don't think Mudeu, can you hear us?
There's no response from that end.
Flinch and then Jamila.
Oh guys, niaje? I think what I'd like to say ni hii kitu tuendelee kupush na don't give up yet. Najua kuna watu wengi kwa timeline wenye wanataka hii movement ifail. Maybe wako na their personal agenda. Kuna mtu anataka yani tu imsatisfy. Juu kama nimeona mtu kama Cairo, ukiangalia tweets zake ni jamaa tu anataka kudiscourage watu. So what you do, tukazane tu and you're going to win. That's all.
Oh, thanks Flinch for being brief. Yes, Jamila, kindly go. Jamila, your hand is up. Okay, we'll have Cynthia speak. Cynthia?
Am I the only one who's not hearing?
Jamila, we can hear you.
Okay, hi. What I wanted to
please
say
speak a little louder. You're whispering.
Hello, can you hear me?
Kombali.
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you, but Kombali.
Okay, what I'm trying to say is, we've been trying to be cordial with this government for so long, and I don't think that is effective. The way forward would be, I'm not saying we go the way of anarchy, but to make this place hostile for these people, regardless of whoever they might be, a member of parliament, whoever is in this government, we just make everything difficult for them so that at least our voices can be heard. The only way to deal with manipulative, egotistic, narcissistic people is just to match their energy. Do whatever they are doing, but in a constitutional way. Because these people will not hear us. We've been out in the streets for like a month. We have been doing it peacefully, and they're not listening to us. Coming to this point, it's not fair, and there is nothing we can do about it, but let's just try to be bad towards them the same way they're being towards us.
Asante sana. Jamila, I really like that. I really like that we can hold them accountable, but based on the law. For example, Jika mechekio video msewa, which constituency is this? MP. Barabara ni mbaya alafu anashukishwa na mbwa tembea.
That was an MCA.
MCA. That's very simple. As in kitu kayo. Kiari juzi, after our pasile bill, the finance bill after I voted yes, alinyimwa platform. Na iko kwa violent. Msi alienda kachukua tu mic akamwambia buda wezi tubongesha. And so every single way their popularity can increase, remove it from them. That's why churches are a very important strategy for us. Wanafika church, mayouth mnaanza tu kupiga kelele. Wanakuja mako, mayouth mnaanza kupiga kelele. Mna make sure madha wenyu wote wanapiga makelele. So that means they become, let me tell you, the weapon of the politician is popularity. The moment they're not popular, wako nje. Cynthia, Tekla. Cynthia?
Yeah, I'm here. Chenye nilikuwa nataka kusema ni clearly we can see that we are dealing with a government that doesn't care. On Tuesday, watu wamekuwa maandamano. On Wednesday, Ruto announces people that we do not want. So clearly, as much as our protests are working, kuna message yenye bado hatujafikisha. We need people to organize ourselves. Kuna watu wenye ni IT experts hapa Kenya. Organize something, mimi sijui venye zinaitwa na those IT terms, but a bullying, cyberbullying something to those government like leaders. Wasipofanya chenye tunataka, shukisha down their account. Mtu akipost kitu, let it not get any attention. No likes, no comments, nothing. Let's paralyze them. And then kama kitu kama protests, we need population. Tunataka tukienda demonstrate, tunaenda wote. So instead of going there tutupiwe tear gas, what about we organize something like a concert? Tunaweza to hashtag something, organize a concert, kila mtu aende town. Have everyone in town. Na tufanye hiyo concert even for a full week. So that watu hawana reason ya kushoot people who are attending a music concert or a comedy concert or something like a musical. Hakuna mtu atakuja kushoot watu wamekuja kudance na kuimba, but something to paralyze the CBD or Nairobi. Tukitoka hapo to make sure that kama kuna mbunge yoyote ama someone that we do not want, someone that doesn't listen to us, mwenye anataka platform yoyote, we deny them. Mtu akiorganize rally, they want to come to speak to us, we do not attend. We don't like Evo to boycott everything. Even ndo tutaweza, because people are dying, kusema ukweli. Some of us are still very young, we still have dreams. Tukisema tunaenda rogue in an unconstitutional way, we are going to end up dead. And I don't think we want that. So let us like be smart. Tufanye kitu yenye ita work. Hawa wakina Ruto, let's make them lose their account. Something tunaweza fanya. Hawa watu tuwanyime spaces zote. I think that is all I have to say.
Cynthia, I really love that. Kuwanyima spaces zote na kwa very innovative. I love about how artists have also taken this up. I've seen skits, I've seen short films, I've seen animations, as in all single ways in which our message can pass around. That's very powerful. I want you to remember that Kirkir, who has been appointed as a cabinet secretary of transport, has had criminal charges, economic criminal charges on him, has appeared in court. But huo mse amekuwa appointed. Mwosho moja. Wewe Cynthia, ukienda kusaibabuli mse, which one sababuli, of course it has, I mean there are certain things that the law says. Atatumana hapo kwa hao yako, ushikwe hapo, DPP atandika charges haraka haraka, na by the way kitu kidogo unanyonyesha ukiwa ndani. My point is, kama hii website imebuildiwa ya Ndii, that website is very factual. Every single thing Ndii ashaisema imewekwa hapo. Ile ChatGPT ya corruption, it's factual. Every single thing iko hapo, it's a fact. So msi hawezi dispute. So if maybe the word is not bullying that you wanted to use, is another different word, and I'm not explaining you. It's that brings in that makes you become their target easily. Hivyo tu nilikuwa nataka kusema. Rosie.
Hi, thank you for the opportunity to speak. I just wanted to say,
Hello, you can hear me?
can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes.
Abdi,
Yes, we can hear you.
someone is on the mic.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. I just wanted to say, like, guys, since we started on the 25th, like right now, a lot of people have become, it's not even anger anymore, it's apathy. If you haven't noticed, a lot of people have just resolved to going back to their lives because they're giving up. Because really, when there is when we're speaking the truth without justice, it kind of frustrates a lot of people. That's why we see the likes of Cairo, and it's not just Cairo, it's many more people. Like when we were starting before the 25th protest, that was the mother of all protests till now, someone would hold a space and 100K of us would sit and listen. Right now, at max, the one person who still holds a big number for spaces is Amerix, and we clock at around 40K, because 60K of us have become apathetical to the cause, because we are seeing no results. We're seeing like guys are tired. So me, I don't want to discourage the cause, because this cause has given so many of us so much hope. Like this hope that had died. Me, I won't lie, I've never voted for Ruto or Raila. These guys, after the post-election violence, I lost hope in them. So whenever these principles were the ones who are the face of being elected for presidency, I've never really bothered. I gave up on politics at all. Like if you even look at my timeline, I am anti-political. I don't even watch the news. But since the hashtag Stop Financial Bill started, some hope was built in me. Sahi nimekuwa advocating in any space I can get to just get people psyched up. But even me in my circles, I can tell you for sure, guys are pathetical. People, in fact, today in a WhatsApp group, someone just asked, are people still going for maandamano? They are going to be a maandamano tomorrow. Like, okay, you've already given up. Yani, there's no, hakuna kitu. But what's aching in my heart really is just to say, guys, we need to re-strategize. I'm sorry, but we need to rethink. Ruto is not looking for leaders. Hizi ni derailment. Anajua hakuna leaders kwa hii movement. Anajua everything kinagaubaga. He right now ni campaign ya kusecure regime yake the next 5 to 10 years. And that's what he's doing. And we need to match up that energy. You guys, Ruto and his cronies, they're wise. They watch us, they study us, and they adjust accordingly. We can't sit down and just use the same principles we've been using since 25th. Those principles worked for 25th. Right now, we need to look forward for ways that can stop whatever systems they're putting into place to secure their reign. Mimi sijui how we will achieve that. All I know is hata kama watu wako angry, wamechoka, one thing is for sure. Mi sijaona watu wakisema Ruto must stay. Guys still want Ruto to go. Now we need to sit down and think what is the best approach towards Ruto going. One way I can suggest is get all of us together in a forum, in a space. I don't know how we will do it, but we need to sit down and decide on one way forward. Whether that means we are forming a party, we are not forming a party, we are doing this, we are doing that. We just need to sit down together and decide what's the way forward. And really now focus on that. Because as we speak right now, kwanza nimeona news hapa breaking, ameshaanza ku make changes kwa KDF, yenye tunasema they are still on our side. This guy is securing every angle. Kila mali tumesema kitu, kila mali tumefocus. Mimi nimekuwa educated on so many things since hii story ya maandamano ianze. Sitaki kukua dialed down again. Sitaki kurudi hiyo place penye ati nimeziba kila kitu ya politics, anything that's triggering, so that nirudi back to my cocoon. No, we can't go back to okay. We have to look for strategies, you guys. We have to speak one language. We have to get all of us in one space and decide on a way forward. That's my take. Thank you.
Thank you very much. History getting all of us in one space. It's an idea that some of us have been discussing behind the scene, but ningumu manze. But also, it's also a good thing that people have various spaces. Ndio isikue centralized. You see, when you see, this is why people turned on Osama. Well, he betrayed the people because at one point when this thing started, we used to have, I think, a maximum of 2 spaces on the TL. Ilikuwa Osama na Kimuzi hosting, and then it started by Osama hosting, and then when things went out of how they went, watu wakachange. So me, I think the diversification kukuwe na various, the goal is one. Ruto must go. So watu wa diversify, watu wakuwe na hizo space.
Sorry
I
to
saw that.
interject. Sorry to interject. I'm not saying that we have one space continuously. You're not getting my point. My point is not to have just the one space where we all meet during that one space. No, we just need to set our agenda correct. You see, when we were hashtagging for finance bill, we had that one agenda, finance bill. People were still having multiple forums to talk. But right now, we need to re-strategize, to have that one agenda that you're talking about. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm saying we need to have that skill. We need to have a mother. Like hata kama itakuwa commit physically ama wapi, whichever way works, we need to get all of us wenye tumeanza kukuwa na apathy, wenye tunaanza kufikiria maybe political party, wenye bado wanasema pana protest every day. When you see, guys are now having many different agendas. And that division is what's making us to be weak. We need to have one strategy, and that can only happen if we sit down and have a forum where we all agree. Hata kama si eti ni 100% all of us agree, at least 90% of us agree on one agenda and focus on it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Perfectly put. Because you see, if you monitor keenly what has been happening, the reason why you might think we've been struggling is because people don't know. Kuna watu wanasema Ruto must go. There are hardliners who are on Ruto must go, and then there are people who occupy Parliament, occupy MOH, or do this, sack the cabinet, dissolve. So you see, even when you hear from these, we might call them the experienced political, they're asking us, what do you want? You want the same Ruto who want, you are calling for Ruto to go, and then mnasema Ruto dissolve a cabinet, bring in competent people. Mnasema Ruto apatie ideas. What do you want? I think that's the point you're saying. We need to move with one agenda. Because as someone had talked earlier, people like Cairo, they got what they wanted. I mean, when the movement started, we were almost 100% in. Then kuna watu wame drop in because probably what they were fighting for walipata. When the people who were in for money walilipwa wakatoka. The people who were in for the finance bill ilianguka wakatoka. So there are people who still are not satisfied with what is happening. So we need to form that hardline where to agree. What are we going for? Are we going for Ruto must go? Because all these things have different strategies. Tukisema ni cabinet in tunataka iende, we won't approach it the same way we want Ruto to go. I think there I agree with you 100%. We need to form our agenda very clearly and make sure that everyone is on board with what we are moving with. Who's been on the line for long? I think Mebs or Doc, kuna mtu ulikuwa ushaeka online. I think we'll have
Rain na Mebs na Abdi in that order. Alafu Manga atafollow ine. Rain, Mebs and then Abdi.
I can go as we wait for Rain. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. Go.
Well, guys. I know some days are heavy. It's heavy on my heart, actually, from the time I saw the nominees. And once again, of course, the political class has just joined hands and left Kenyans all naked. But why do they do that? It's because Ruto knows he's naked already, so he's trying to cover his ass. Yeah. What we are doing and what you're saying is drain the swamp, 100%. I've heard a speaker before me talking about Kivutha Kibwana, and with all due respect, I love Professor Kivutha Kibwana, but I disagree because it's true. His books were never clean as well. So there was looting when he was governing Makueni. Yeah, Martha, he on his when he chimed in, he spoke about Martha Karua and people. And yes, we can take advice from them, but it doesn't mean we trust them 100% because the political elite are just the same people. If they're not eating together, then they're the opposed people on the table. Yeah. Martha Karua is the same person who also, if you remember the scandal well in the election of 2009, she's not that clean anyway. So, and also I disagree with people calling for violence. Like, Doc said here, Bosire, the prison is meant for poor people. Yeah. That's why you see people like Ditmat Baraza not in jail because the government, because they have money, they are looting for who, they are doing this. That is why they're not sitting in prison. Prison is meant for poor people. That's why mtu ameiba kuku huko ushago ako kwa jela Kamiti maximum prison, and mwenye ameiba milioni anatembea scot free. Obado is free. We can name all of them. Sonko is there. We can name all of them. I don't need to go that. So please do not use violence. Do not use violence. That is when you know, like Doc said, and I don't want to repeat because we'll just be repeating the same things. That's why you will know that the constitution, they follow the constitution. Yeah. I remember yesterday the DPP came out and said, oh, the person who shot Rex, it was not clear from which direction and all that, like trying to tell us, like, if I take a gun right now as Mabel, go to the streets of Nairobi in the darkest night and shoot somebody, I will be caught. I will be found. Just because I did it and nobody saw me, there must be investigation and it should be determined who exactly shot. And police they are given bullets in the morning. They're told, you walk with this. There's a leader there. You are someone in charge of you who says 5 of you are going to man this side, 10 of you are going to man the other side. So at least in the range, they know who was there. Yeah. So Tusibebo Ufala, guys. Tusibebo Ufala. We are draining the swamp saying Ruto must go, and Ruto must go doesn't mean Ruto as a person. It means he, the presidency, Ruto, with everybody in his governance. Gashagwa, everybody, water, I don't want to mention their names. So, guys, do not forget that okay, I said, yeah, violence, please do not go for that. And leaders, people who are calling, oh, we should have a leader right now and start picking one right now. That is how they're going to disband this movement, which doesn't need to be disbanded right now. You've seen already, even Raila, who has been the god of, we call him Baba, yeah? He's in bed with them right now. So please not say. And didn't Ruto say that public officers, servants over 60 years should go home? How old is Aparanya again? But I rest my case there. So I just want to urge you guys, I know what is the way forward. The way forward is for us to follow the constitution as we have, keep making it uncomfortable for them, deplatform them everywhere. Yes, when they come, Uko Ocha, there's actually, I'm always against MPs living in Runda and then their constituents live somewhere else. I am for, if you are the MP of Madare, you should live in Madare. If you are the MP of Langata, live there so that you know the problems your constituents face. There is no way, mimi ni MP wa Siaya, ama whatever place, Samburu, and then I live in Nairobi, and then once every quarter I go home with my fuel guzzler with the muddy roads. You guys push my car. I see young children whose feet are submerged into mud until their knees, trying to push these big cars for the MPs to move. No, make them march, make them walk the walk, walk the talk. They should go in their hospitals, in their constituencies, that one day everybody will benefit from where they serve. And I call for everybody, please, let's forge forward, because if we don't, anyway, it's a matter of time. I keep insisting on this. It's a matter of time. This political elite, the way they've been, our CS wamekuja tu saizi, they will be vetted, of course. They will pass that one. Mbadi told us the skunk, he's part of the skunk right now. He will be part of it. All of them are just now will compete. Who is going to loot more? Where can I get more money? Who is having this? That's why you hear the sayings of watu wa Murima, watu wa wapi. That's why every parastatal is full for their people so that they can steal easily. And if they continue like that, right now already, the middle class is just a disease away from poverty. If it continues like this, the poor people are becoming more and more, because the elite are less anyway than the poor people. Majority are the poor people. Once, because there's no food security right now, health is rotten in Kenya. Once it continues like this, in the next 3-4 years, people will be starving in Kenya. What do? You have your defense mechanism. It will urge you to go and steal for my neighbor. Ndaenda kwa Doc Bosire, nakuja kukuibia, because I do not have anything. Anyway, it's either I die of starvation or I come and steal from you. And if I steal from her and we are done eating what she has, we will move to the next one. So Occupy State House will happen anyway. Yeah, people from Kibera will go to the next affluent estate in their surrounding and steal from those people. So at the end of the day, we should think about the Kenya that we want. And I just want to rest my case by saying, please do not give up. I had somebody say, of course, we are giving up. And I understand. And I know it's every day different information. Yesterday, people were being killed in the middle of the night. We couldn't sleep. Today is now coming with this bogus list that they're doing and all that. Tomorrow will be something. I know. Too much information so that we are even so exhausted with so much that they're giving us, the bullshit that they're giving us. But please do not give up. If you give up, politics, it's a body that governs a lot of your daily lives. I do not need to explain. A lot of eloquent speakers have spoken before me. So guys, let's forge forward. Let's drain the swamp. Ruto must go. We keep occupying the streets until they know really Ruto, Odinga, and everybody else. We do not need you. We do not need the political class, and Kenya can run without them. Thank you very much, Davis. Thank you, Kimuzi is not here anyway. Thank you, Bosire. And next to the next speaker.
Thanks, Mebs. Thanks, Mebs. Very positive vibe. Abdi, I think you are next.
Thank you. Thank you for organizing this space. I'm joining you from Toronto. And my take is...
From where?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
You said you're joining from?
Toronto.
Oh.
So my take is, I see Ruto as a real joker for sure, with his political coalition of losers. I thought he will listen to the ground, which is not the case. It is the status quo repackaging of the same corrupt, incompetent folks to just form an unholy alliance. Despite the promise of change and reforms, we continue to see the same old pattern of governance and mismanagement. I refuse to endorse any of Ruto's appointees. His values actions fundamentally oppose our philosophy of life. We don't even believe to any of these politicians who are self-seeking. It's time for us to demand a genuine and accountable leadership rather than settling for recycled, failed governance. The government is not listening. The march will continue. And now we need to change of strategy and tact way forward. We need a vehicle. We need to follow the constitution. The Kenya I want is one where there is inclusivity, sustainability, rule of law, and progress are at the forefront. By upholding the principles of accountability and transparency, and genuine commitment to addressing the root causes of our challenges, we can build a Kenya that truly reflects the hopes and dreams and our aspirations of the people. I believe together we can achieve a brighter and more equitable Kenya in the future. Thank you.
Short and precise, Abdi. Love that. Duke Ntambo.
Thank you, Bosire, for this opportunity, and Kimuzi. First and foremost, I would like to say it's a good thing that Raila has joined Ruto, because this gives us the opportunity to be the opposition of the government, and this was the last card for the last 4 presidency that we had in Kenya. During Moi time, we had Kibaki and Uhuru, and now it's Ruto. So Raila, actually, I don't think Raila runs for really go fight for presidency to run the country. I think he's just put there to be the loser during the election, so that he can benefit himself, because during Moi time he went to he did a handshake, Kibaki handshake, Uhuru handshake, now Ruto handshake. So this handshake is a last card of any president in Kenya. It's a hidden card for any president in Kenya. So right now, when you feel like your government is in shaky mode, you bring Raila, and all of them, they know Raila is a conman, is somebody, he was called by Omtata a political prostitute, because this guy only wants to benefit himself. Look at this position right now. He didn't even go with Kalonzo Musyoka. He didn't go even with Martha Karua. The same, it happened during the Uhuru time. He didn't went with Wetangula and all the other allies, So this guy always negotiate or always take opportunity for himself. Right now, in this particular moment, I'm so angry because he didn't even go to the street. Yeah, this guy didn't go to the street. The Gen Z movement started without them. It was a leaderless, it was a partyless, it was tribeless. And the guys went to the street because of one major cause, that was finance bill, and also to call out the corruption that's going on in this government. And then at the last minute, he saw the opportunity and he hijacked our movement. Right now, he has gone to bed with the government for his gain. Because even those CS, they have been put there. Those, if you read the article today that was wrote about the ex-CS exposed Ruto, you will see how the government works. Yeah. So Ruto is controlling the ministry, the CSs. So the CSs are there like puppets. They could not discharge their duty. It's the same thing with Raila. So those CS will put there. They'll just be controlled. They'll be puppets. So technically, Raila benefits himself from the government. Is the government. So my first point was, it is good that Raila joins Ruto, because this was the last card for any president to bring peace in this country. And we all love peace in this country. But this has given us opportunity to push harder, so that we know we are sending them all home. We are sending not Ruto alone, but we are sending even Raila. So we have to clean up the mess. We have to drain this swamp. So another thing, the second point is strategy. This is very important, guys. Let's mobilize. I'll take an example of Egypt revolution. Those guys were also leaderless. It was a leaderless movement. Those guys took 18 days, camped at the Tahrir Square, in Cairo. And in 18 days, the president was gone. So I like the strategy that we used on Tuesday, that we confused the police, that we are going to occupy JKIA. Of course, it was one of the strategy, but it happened that the protesters went to the CBD, so police were caught unaware, and even that made Bungei to come to the CBD to try and talk to the youths and to be seen anaonyesha urafiki na wao, so that it cools down the temperature. But that was an embarrassment for them, So the last Thursday ile andani tulikuwa tumesema we camp at Uhuru Park. So these guys, they have their spies, even these spaces, even right now they're listening, and that's why this is the main thing, that they were caught unaware, because they come to Twitter and take that information to their boss. So walifikiri tutaenda JKIA, then went to CBD. So they rely on social media. They don't have grassroots information, So if we could find some strategy and say we camp at Nairobi, less people travel. Look, the people who can, that is. It's not a must all of us go to Nairobi. But those who can, you can host 2-3 people at your house. It doesn't have 82 kuje, you're the same day, and then we do the demonstration. We can plan, if the demonstration is next week on Tuesday, people can start traveling now. Host 2 or 3 friends at Nairobi. Then when we say like we are going on Tuesday for Mandamano, we are more than the number that came on that day that we occupied the parliament. So this will give that strong overwhelming will overwhelm. The police and the government. The other thing is, how do we deal with the goons? That's another problem. How do we deal with the goons? Because these goons are the ones which government they're using, and because it's not expensive for the government to use the to use the goons, it's expensive for the government to use police and the tear gas and all that, but it is less expensive for the government to use goons, because they pay 530, they'll pay 1,000, they'll come with rungus and all that. So because remember, or a month we have been serving the government. The government depends on us as the citizen of the country, because we have stole our economy, but at the same time, alone, but it pains us because we don't have job. You know, we don't have food on the table. But that also gives us courage. Let's push hard. The last thing is let's continue with the fundraising. I think we did a very good job with fundraising during time with the Hanifa, you know, because during that, what I liked about the time we occupied the parliament is it's because we had strategized very well, because we had medical guys on the ground. We had people who were not there on the ground, maybe from outside the country, they're donating, and this gave the government and Ruto sleepless night, because we have our own money, you know, that will cater us. Because when you're going to war, you expect death or win. It's simple. It's yes or no. It's just like kati ya dem, utajua good job, you know. If you like to continue good. If he refuses, then let's find a decentralized place whereby we can raise funds. It doesn't matter. And do transaction without the other one, you know. So we can continue raising funds so that these casualties that we
like corruption, like bad governance, like starting to discuss all challenges that we have seen. Up to that point, can just be also time wasting. What do I? And the reason for everything. And even on diseases, when you want to treat any disease, you don't go. We have capitalism that is embedded in Africa. Number 4, we have religion that was brought just specifically to capture our brains, not to think. Number 5, we have ethnicity and tribal vulcanization. We also have what we call democracy. And we are also subjected to an electoral cycle, including the term limits. This is brought by a constitution which I believe was not African-based. This constitution, we borrowed it from America. That's why we have a presidential system. Well, if we want a total overhaul, it means we must deal with the roots. And I'm really talking passionately because I believe this is an African thing. We are continually being oppressed. We are continually made poor, and we are actually slaves. Neocolonialism is still alive today. Therefore, let us agree that we need a total overhaul. After that agreement, let us stop discussing all these other issues, which are just the fruits that are a result of the bad root, of the roots of this generally. Up to that point, I hope you've got my point. So continuing, I'd like to inform us that we, having the specific topics that we need to talk about, we can consider, if at all we are focusing on political education, so that the majority who have not understood these things that I've just talked about, then we can now be talking of the issues like corruption, trying to explain. But this should not happen on the social media, because I believe everybody that has access to social media and technology, these people are informed and they are here deliberately. Then how can we be able to go to the grassroots, kule mashinani, so that we start telling people, we enhance the rage in them, the vent in them, tuambie vitu zitawakashirisha na watosheke na hawa watu na wakasirikie. That one is only possible through political education. This political education should be funded. Going by how Duque left, it means we really need to have a fundraiser and we need to have a kitty to fund this thing. Number 2, having agreed that we are alone, the political class have been playing into the same system, the same monkeys changing the different forests. Remember Joho passionately saying that Ruto is the most corrupt person. Whenever he's elected, now he's okay. Normally, anything that serves your interest determine how you behave. I can tell you that any one of you right now, even Kimuzi, if you are just called and you are told, by the way, the remaining one cabinet secretary preserved for you, and it is confirmed, honestly, the way you will behave will change. It's the nature of human being. Let us not necessarily judge people so harsh. Also, we must not expect perfection from people, from everybody. The nature of human being is like that. But us having agreed that we are speaking one voice, let us agree. Do we want Ruto out now? Do we want to go by the constitution? Or do we want to wait until 2027? After agreeing that, the only strategy of getting Ruto out of office before 2027 is by mass protest. Hakuna kurudi kwa nyumba, tumejaa. I fear that possibly Kenyans have not reached a situation whereby all of them, or the largest number, can get out on streets. Suggesting that for us to get the largest number on streets, we need to get people from other towns coming to Nairobi. I think that may necessarily not be the right one, because It doesn't mean that we don't have a large population in Nairobi. These people can get out and occupy the streets and it can be a success. Then why is it that they are not out? Because they have not got the information. Haijawafikia vizuri. Haijawafikia na hawajakasirika vizuri. Mimi actually, when Ruto was sworn in and I did not really want him to be the president, mimi nilifurahi kwa sababu ndio atachuna watu kabisa, watu wakasirike. So we need to choose. Tunataka kukasirika saa hii ama baadaye. Ikiwa tunataka kukasirika saa hii, then tuachane na mambo ya Ruto must go now. Let us go in political education ndio to make sure watu wapate information, wakasirike, ikifika 2027 we vote them out. But kama hatutaki kukasirika saa hii, let us get out, tuseme Ruto must go. Possibly we will be defeated. Giving him more time to play the games he's playing, that one can get many people. Watu watakasirika, watatoka tu wenyewe. I'm not necessarily saying that tumpe time. If we are not going to give him time now, then what can we do? Number one, vile Duke amesema, let us set a parallel way of mobilizing funds. Let us give our best into this thing. Let us have one space, either on days like Saturday or on days like Monday, Wednesday, and Sunday. One space that we are just doing political education, we are talking about one subject. The other days, let people do whatever they are doing in their different spaces. Also, let us make sure that, okay, what we already know kindly right now is that the way Raila has just joined, Ruto, they are going to program themselves and plan themselves, and also to lure the masses into supporting them. How can we go?
Thomas, kindly wind up. Kindly wind up. Tuko wengi.
Thank you so much. I'm winding up. So let me just summarize. Having said all things that I've said, Ruto must go means we must have mass out to go and get him out. And if at all we will stick to constitutionalism, I believe that the constitution was made to protect power. It was made to protect power. And just as the other person said, that if you are going to misbehave, only the poor will find themselves in the courts. If we play the game of the constitution, it's like we are giving ourselves into the hands of the oppressors. When need be, we may really decide not to consider the constitutionalism. We may just decide to face them head on because we are in a ring. Everybody is trying to survive. Thank you.
Asante sana. Who was on the line? We have who's been on the line for yes, check only.
Thank you so much to the hosts and the co-hosts. First of all, na suggest if you are for Ruto must go now, you start your speech with #Ruto must go. Ruto must go. So rest in peace to all those heroes who have died and those who are injured. I wish you a quick recovery. Let's talk about actions, not walking the talk. First of all, most of us, we are still members of UDA. We are still members of the Azimio Party. We cannot be in this while we are still members. We are giving them still numbers. So it's about the time to do the registration from UDA and Azimio en masse, so that we can be able to convey our dissatisfaction with the current rogue political regime. And one of the ways we can be able to, we can maybe do a Twitter space, specifically or purposely dedicated to registering from those parties. I am aware we can do it online. Others, there's some, is it called USSD codes? That is one way of telling these people that we are tired of you guys. But if we are still in those parties, we are not acting. Hi, my next point, most of these politicians are using our religious spaces. I believe most, especially our Christian, I'm sorry to say this, most of our Christian religious leaders are giving platforms to the corrupt politicians. And I think part of our actions is to include boycotting the specific churches that are hosting the corrupt log criminals into our holy spaces. We also need to officially or formally write to the NCCK, the National Council of Churches of Kenya, and other religious bodies, so that we can raise or express our concern and request a clear stance on the issues that the politicians using the platforms to influence the population and giving handouts so that they can influence the population ili tukae kwa poverty, because most of our parents are still languishing in poverty. The next thing, I know, before I finish, I believe that the religious spaces, zinafaa, they are supposed to be sanctuaries for morality and justice. Hazifai kuwa platform za kuendorse individuals that are killing innocent protesters and stealing right and left. That is, those are my two strategies. And the next thing I would also propose is that we should ensure that the more than the 52 people killed during the protests, and I find it funny that we are talking about 52 people. Well, there are reports that more than 42 people were killed and dumped at Kware. So, what is the true number of those people killed? Why are we talking about 55 while still other people are still missing? Why don't we talk about 55 plus 42 people? That's totals to about 100. Why are we giving numbers that are not real? Why is our traditional media giving numbers that are not true? We all know that Kware was a cover, but in the real sense, we have, and I can see Alan Namu here. I'm asking, because I'm also a creative, I'm asking those independent media to investigate what actually happened at Kware, so that we can know the accurate number of those killed. So the people, we need to get them justice at the International Criminal Court. And one way of making sure that they get justice at the ICC is to ensure that we document and collect evidence that can be able to prosecute those criminals. We also need to keep all the medical reports. I'm aware some people, that is why the government and those askaris that we are going to the mortuaries were indicating accident died mtu alikufa kwa accident, mtu mwingine sijui alipigwa na mob, because they are hiding the evidence. So we need to have all those medical reports with us. I am aware we have even some platforms. We need to have every video that was taken, all the medical reports, and photographic and video evidence. And our media, like John, I can see John Alan Namu, they have very good coverage of the events. We can get all that evidence so that we can make sure that all those involved, from the executive to the police, they pay for the inhumane acts. Another thing, we should also include the human rights and international lawyers, so that they can guide us, because they have the experience, and they can guide us to make sure, because we are aware our courts will never prosecute these criminals. So we need to find international people who have experience in human rights and international law to guide us through the process. And also, I would also want us to engage international media, because our media stations have been, maybe, I'm putting it in quotes, compromised. Yesterday, they were not showing us the events, so I don't know what is happening. And they need also to come out clear why they were not doing whatever they are supposed to do, because they are supposed to give us, they are supposed to give us coverage for whatever is happening. So we need to engage international media like CNN. Lali is doing a good job. So that we can have the continuous advocacy. Another thing,
Wind up, checks. Wind up.
okay, my last point is, I believe that most people here have a religion. Some don't, but one of the things to address the corrupt and inhumane regime spiritually, I believe we can designate specific days for community voluntary fasting, so that because I believe that that the most merciful can guide us and protect us in this revolution. In conclusion, let's drain the swamp with actions, and thank you so much for everyone who is actively in the revolution. Asante sana.
Asante sana. Kindly, guys, just to make a point, my co-host Ali drop. We are working to bring her back, and then Kimuzi, I think he's engaged, so I can't reach him. So I'm struggling to get the request. So many people on the DM, hata naona kwa TL watu wameanza kusema we are not adding everyone. The kuna issue na space. I don't know, someone was reporting it. So there's an issue. The requests people are claiming to be coming as ifiki huku. I have only 4 requests at the moment, and I'm trying to add them. So kindly be patient as we are working on it. I'll go with the manga. You've been here for long. I think we'll come on here. What do you want to say? Then we'll go after the manga. Ameshatoka. We'll go to the PC, then the real Joe. Let's have PC, then the real Joe.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you everyone. Papai. And I just have questions. I also have concern concerning these appointments. The suggestion that the government Ruto has given that should be vetted. And what is the way forward for us, guys? And as we know, winning an election in Africa, not only in Kenya, entails a lot. And we need to get a solution as far as tomorrow, maybe. And my first plea, we need to form a political party. If you people can remember the time Ruto started campaigning, so for Team Azimio was just a catch-up of which Ruto had already traversed the whole country. What do we mean by this? In the event that happened in Nairobi, we had Okiya Mtata, who we saw like is not an angel, but is a guy we see like he can lead us, he can give us that service that we need. And vile nimeona saizi is like Ruto is planning for 2027, is getting his team ready, and Gachagua will come up with the political card. I know for sure. This will haunt us if we don't start early. The question that we normally get on the ground, I normally get on the ground is, what next for us? And who is there for us? It's like as far as we are leaderless, but we need to have a solution. And so who are we proposing? So people can start seeing, getting to know that person in every bit. One thing is, if it's Okiya Omtatah we can front as a president, let's start it early as possible. And number two, I see people saying like we should contribute or bring up something kitty. I will support it, and at the same time, I'll not support it. The fact that Hanifa has been so genuine, I may handle our kitty for Mchanga, that does not mean like everyone will be as honest as Hanifa. And kama kuna contribution yoyote that we people need to do is our political party. If it's Okiya Omtatah, we are contributing for the purpose of him to traverse the country. As far as I know, Okiya Omtatah is 100% known on Twitter. I can tell you maybe 30% known huku ndani ndani. That's what we need to do. Our parents, see us. They need our leading now. They've led us. The leading that have taken all those years, they've seen like they were blind. They are ready for our leadership. And the person that we give out, this is our person. Before tribal cards come in, I know for sure maybe next week or next week, but one you'll see the likes of Rigathi Gachagua akienda Mount Kenya akisema our people have been secluded. It's our government now. Ruto has brought someone. To some point, those people might think like Rigathi also talking for us. Rigathi will not talk for us. Kalonzo will not talk for us. And when you say an overhaul, it's an overhaul of all these old cronies who have been in government since 1983, since 1992. Ni nini hawajaifanya that they want to do? They've had ministers, ministerial positions, they've had prime ministers, prime cabinet secretaries, whatever. So number three is Hanifa as a kitty. What we need to do, if we can organize one big rally as a Gen Z family, so that we unveil our president, and if I can break that safe and say like, well, let's make maybe we book tickets for everyone who is willing and ready to travel to Nairobi. Maybe we book a place, come on Kasarani, I heard Kasarani is on a maintenance, one of the biggest places. We converge, we unveil our leaders, we have a vigorous work in this country to kiuza sera zetu. That's what people are yearning for. Tumefungua maovu, but hatusemi our end game. Our end game was one, it was we have a referendum where we need to cut those MPs' salary. Number two was to reduce the constituencies. Number three was this power. The constitution as such, you can see, it has given the political class more power. As far as it tells us, power is for us. But you look at the point of maybe theft cases and corruption. It's only on the constitution it's only in Kenya where a politician steals, but six months down the line, 3 years down the line, hajaishikwa. But a person stealing chicken, thief who stole a phone, in 3 months, kesi yake tayari asharushwa kamiti. Those are the things we need to change in our constitution, where we should get a law. The court should do these cases in less than 6 months, we get a verdict. And if someone has any case, a person like Waluke, a person like Aisha Juma who shot someone, a person like Didmas Baraza, they have criminal cases, then wanakuwa allowed tena to vote. If someone has any criminal case, either shot or either corruption, these people should not be allowed to hold any seat in this country. Those are the changes that we need in this country, or else we'll be talking, we'll be having these committees. As a matter of fact, energy inaenda ikishuka is not how we started, but we need the solution as far as we are all in this. Let's not
Asante sana.
tribal cards. Please, we need these leaders so that we can beat this tribal card yenye watu wataamka. Watu from Mrima wataamka because tumeshindwa kupeana wa leader. Watasema sasa mmeshindwa ni nani Rigathi? You know, when someone gets out of the government anze kulalamika huku kando, people see him as a savior. But he has stolen and anakuja sasa kupeana huku. That's what Ruto did. Let's get our leader. Let's form our tribal, our political party to drive this agenda. Thank you.
Okay. Asante sana. Asante sana PC. Who was speaking? The Joe was next, but I'm a drop. Let's go to Jaire. Then we shall give Dr. Bosire to represent the females. I'm really trying my best here to add. I'm not seeing the ladies asking for the mic. Kindly, ladies, ask for the mic so that we get your views as well. Jaire?
Panini?
Hello. Let me know
Yes.
kama nasikika.
Yes, tunakusikia vizuri.
Okay. First and foremost, I'd like to begin by passing my condolences and my respect to everyone who has lost someone or who has been hurt in this movement. Second of all, there's something we need to acknowledge, and it's that we're in a revolution. And a revolution is a time of revelation. So as much as things are revealing themselves in all these ways, and certain individuals are not who we thought they were, and leaders are actually politicians and not who we thought they were. It is what it is. Let us accept it and remember that a revolution is a time of revelation. Now we know who they are, and we can treat them as such, and we can proceed as such. Many opportunities have come through with this truth, and many realities as well. I think to my second point, it is that a lot of old tactics are being employed to divide us on tribal lines and political ideologies and all types of other nonsense. However, please let us remind each other the truth that we know as the people of the day. There are only two tribes in this world: the rich and the poor, those who can and those who cannot. A large point has been made throughout these conversations of decentralization, and a lot of times we're talking about technology, and that's great. I think, in fact, that's the future of governance, where we are all empowered as citizens to actively participate in the making of decisions and policies and how things actually go. It can't be YouTube wanaweza niuliza kaa the ads are nice, but my local MP can't ask me what's more important, a new road or a new school, so that tusonge tu na kenye iko haraka haraka. That's wild to me. So decentralization, not only in terms of technology and policy making, but also we need to look at decentralization in terms of wealth. So many of us are contributing to this economy. So many of us are the heirs of great wealth that we will never see or realize. On a communal level, not even on an individual level, it's how many schools has Sugar built in Mumias? You know, we hear about all of these resources coming from all of these places, but what is there to show for it? We are looking to these individuals, and I'd like to come to that point. First of all, I'm so sorry, I should have started the way we were instructed earlier by one of our peers with the hashtag Ruto must go now. However, the truth is, huyu msee sio the problem. Let us not glorify him too much. He is just an heir to a legacy that is ending with us. The truth is, this guy grew up wanting to be like Moi. He's from that school of thought, Yondo Brotherhood Yao. And the guy before him is the son who Moi used to look up to. And the guy before that guy was their accountant. So let us address these things like from the root, venye Tomboya alikuwa anasema. A lot of these systems are not ours. Jumze was put into power by white people who I believe were not trying to see us prosper as a nation, but fall into line with a larger plan. A global agenda is taking place, and we've been able to see previews of our place in it with all of this IMF nonsense. Na big up kwa wananchi wote wenye wana occupy IMF offices majuu, because they are now bringing the bigger picture into focus for all of us. So as we go through this and we continue to educate each other, let us pay attention to the big picture. Within that point, I'd like to point out that we're living in an era in a world of capitalism. So we must consolidate and understand the ground according to that reality. The larger picture, do we want to reset that thing? Because it was made up by people just like us and people who had an idea that not perhaps like us. So we need to see what's really going on there. But while we are playing that game, let us consolidate our resources and point them with accuracy according to what we want to achieve. Decentralization once again, and let us rely on the integrity of the people who have shown it and have systems to fall back on if people prove to have weaknesses that we can't see. Moving on to my my third point, I'd like to point to the reality of what's going on in terms of where we are. We are being provoked right now. We need to understand that. Na kwa hiyo point ya provocation, lazima niongee na polisi wa kwanza. You see, my dad was a cop once upon a time. Na kuna reason hakulast kwa hiyo profession and he didn't see through the whole trajectory. It's hard for an honest person to exist in a system that relies on dishonesty to thrive. So lazima niseme kwa polisi wenye tumepata nao kwa street, wenye wako hapa kwa space, mnatumika vibaya. Mnatumika vibaya and you're making the people among you with honor, even them. You're shaking their faith in the system. And we will separate ourselves from you, but it is painful to do so because you are meant to be our guardians. Initially, this system is supposed to protect the property and the people who own property. However, the larger populace is the people, and those enforcers come from the people. So I ask the police, remember, you are us. Ama muendele kujichapa hapo na matia gas, mkule ma hotbox, the system will move and will move with those among you who show honor and valor. But at the moment, mnatuangusha mbaya sana. We are being provoked to turn violent.
Umemaliza? I can't hear you. Okay. I think I'm a drop. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes, Atmak.
Yes.
Let's have Bosire speak. I had already put on the line. I took one ladies, but I think now we have one, Stacy, who will speak. We'll have Bosire, Dr. Bosire, then Davis and then Stacy speak, and then Maxwell in that order. Well, I'm adding other.
Thank you, Davis. I'm sorry I dropped as a co-host. I think the internet or something. But I needed to, first and foremost, let me clarify a few things. One of the chiefs said, he said that our constitution is not sufficient in as far as holding people to accountability is concerned. That is not true. Our constitution is actually extremely sufficient to hold right from the president all the way to the judicial officers. And that's why our constitutionalism is built on separation of power. We have the executive, we have the legislator, and you have the judiciary. And the reason why we have these three arms of government is that they are all independent bodies. One of the reasons why today we are all very angry at Raila's people is because they had literally blurred that line between the executive and the legislature, right? Is that the opposition has actually been defined in the Constitution and the Political Parties Act and their role. And so confluencing an opposition and giving some members of the opposition to join the government is saying that the function of the legislature to hold the executive, because each holds each other accountable, is actually that has been killed. It's null and void. Then he also spoke about what does it look like in terms of the structure that exists to hold these people accountable. Again, when you look at the different statutes that exist, if you're looking at the Political Parties Act, if you're looking at the IEBC Act, Independent Electoral. Oh my God, why am I swallowing my words? The Electoral Acts. If you're looking at basically, we have statutes in the country that are supposed to guide how people conduct themselves. So if somebody, for example, when you look at the issues around integrity, if somebody has a criminal case ongoing, if somebody has a civil case which touches on fraud, that person is not supposed to hold any office right now. That person is not supposed to even be appointed. So what I foresee in what Ruto has done, he knows we are going to raise these questions. He knows we are going to bring out the dirt on ODM. So either the strategy is either deflecting for us to make noise only on Azimio, which is not going to work because all of them in one group, mongrels, all of them are cut from the same cloth. Until now, we see independence of thought and actions from politicians. I'm really surprised that Orengo has come out and has literally said, no, this is not what I signed up for, right? It's not like Orengo is clean. Already there are a lot of, we have a qualified audit report from Siaya County, questioning about misappropriation and abuse of office, right? And so this does not sanctify him or clean him, but it just says that literally speaking, if you're going to move forward in this country with leaders of integrity, then people must choose side. What Raila's legacy right now, until he rests with the ancestors, is that he is the one leader who chose to literally weaken our constitution. And the weakening is actually perceived because of this acceptance of these appointments. The other day Mbadi was in parliament saying the skunks that you have nominated to cabinet, he's now a skunk. I've seen old men, and I'm very particular about this, old religious men putting hands on him, praying for him. I'm like, guys, mumerogwa na nani aliwaroga mfike hapa? And they will always weaponize religion, by the way. They will always weaponize religion to be able to try and, whitewash themselves, to be able to look very clean and to see that they're guided by religion. And that's why one of the things the Gen Z, the millennials, and this movement, I call it the accountability movement, has to specifically state that Kenya is a secular state that respects, acknowledges, and upholds the freedom of religion as a constitutional freedom. But it is not a state where people will put budgetary allocations for the first lady and the second lady. No. Or the office of the cabinet secretary. No. This is not a state. It's a state that will uphold the rule of law. I wanted to clear that out. Back to you, Davis.
All right, thank you. At Davis.
Yo, guys, thank you very much, Davis, also for giving me this opportunity. We have to start with the hashtag Ruto must go. And I also want to thank Dr. Bosira for a very beautiful submission today. Actually, I've been listening to you since the space started. And I'd like to say that what we are doing a great justice to our country. Let everyone know what we stand for. I can just give an example, like for today, I did finish my work early, and my boss actually came to my office, and he did so me listening to the space. So he said, you also listen to space? I told him, you see, we have to represent you guys because you are baby boomers. So we have actually to represent the nation and actually give out our grievances. Now, I'm just going to talk about so many other things, and I'm going to be very short and precise, and also give other colleagues the mic so that they can be able to also give out their take on this, what's happening to our nation. First of all, we have to understand what is our purpose, what is the reason as to why we are doing this democratic expression. Why are we doing these protests? This is a very good platform because for us citizens, we need to express our opinions, our grievances, and demands. Actually, they are a very essential and democratic engagement, and it makes us to allow us to hold our leaders into accountable. So if we do not do these demonstrations, actually, I'm telling you that we are seeing our country going into a ditch, and that's why we are not going to allow that to happen. And I think that we also need to understand that we need to have what we call the social change. That's why we have this protest. We need to have this social change. The process can highlight so many other things. We have the issues that have been happening here and there, injustices, prompting the government and such to address them. We've been having historical injustices around us, but nothing has been done. So this is a trigger for us as young people that we need to check our country. In fact, let me tell you that I was very much mad that the Raila Mzee did join the Ruto fraternity. Me and my family, I remember sometimes back, I had to quarrel with my madam because she never went to vote. So I asked her, why did you not vote? Because one vote counts. I had to call my brothers in other places to enable them to wake up very in the morning to and vote. But now what's happening? The same Baba is the one that is making us feel like we did a very bogus job. Today, I denounce him. I called my wife in the morning and I told her that now you are right why you did not vote for Mzee. Because he's the one actually who is making these silly mistakes. I can just call it silly mistakes. I had the opportunity to talk to Mbadi the other day at Ole Sereni, and I told him that you Mr. Mbadi, go and tell Mr. Nyamoko, because Nyamoko comes from Nyamira County, that's North Mugrango, that he needs to come home and make the roads. Go and tell him that whenever we see him around, we are going to take his neck off. That is the last thing I told Mbadi, because they were having some conferences or meetings at Ole Sereni. I think maybe that's where they normally sit and make all these very stupid decisions. So we are not going to relent. So what we've started, tafadhali mtu asikuje kusema like, what is next? Madam Dr. Bosira said categorically that let us clean the house first. If we start early, we will die early. Let them know that we are there. Let them know that we are there. Let us be invisible. Let us be ghost, so that when we make our moves, okay, let them know our moves. I know we have the NIC here, we have the DCI here. We don't care. The other day, actually, I was seeing some two Land Rovers around my place, so I took time to look at them from a distance. So I had to go at the top where I stay. So I just stayed there for some time, but I came to realize that there were some guys who are doing some mapping around to put some business around. So whenever we talk on space, we have to be very vigilant also who is following us, okay? Who is following us, because these guys are all over. They are here listening. The other day, I told you guys that my uncle is one of those guys, the police guys, and then he was like, you guys, you have to be very careful. The government, you cannot defeat the government. No. Who is the government? We are the people. The people is the government. We have given them the mandate to work for us. We are their employers. They are our employees. So whenever we take them into accountable to whatever they do, they have to listen to us. So this thing of saying like, oh, what is the next? No, let's clean our house first. Let us talk. Let us give them sleepless nights. At the end of it all, when we it reach a time where now we'll start maybe think of political affiliation. I mean, starting our own political party, but not yet. Let us first say that let us give them sleepless nights. Let us, one of the friends said that we will plan on the fine days and meet. We can organize. And there was this guy who was said that there's these hackers, the international, the anonymous, who can reach out to anonymous, and maybe we can even shut out the media houses. We can even hack the media houses, and that day, for example, today we could have talked to the anonymous to shut the media so that whenever the president talks, nobody hears it. So let us use all the platforms. Let us use the hackers. Let us use doctors. There's someone who said about cyanide. You know, cyanide is a very bad chemical. You know, we don't want to go there, but we can use other mechanisms to make sure that we are there. Let them be scared. But even Badi, the Wadoi, and the other guys from ODM, we are done with them. Me, from today, I'm partyless. I'm not going to be an ODM member. My wife, I told her it's good she never voted. My brothers know that Baba, we are done with him. So guys, let us continue. Let us push. And I know this is our country. We are not going anywhere. This is our country. I know. Once we keep on pushing, once we keep on moving forward, I know one of the fine days we are going to make sure that our country is on a very good hands, and we are going to be accountable for our country. It's us and it's our time, and let everybody watch our step. Thank you very much. Let me drop.
Asante sana. Let's have Stacy, then Maxwell, and then Michelle and Tomaso in that order. Stacy, Maxwell, Michelle, and Tomaso.
Hi, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so I'd first like to say that the sponsor of anarchy in this country is Arap Mashamba and his government. If he's not completely deluded and insane, then that would mean that he's bloodthirsty and hungry for power and is willing to maintain it no matter the cost. Now, with that out of the way, I would like to go to today's topic. It's now very evident that we're up against more than one person. We're up against a whole system that is rooted in plundering without any pushback. We as a nation, through our leniency up until now, have fueled this fire, and it's time to put it out once and for all. Now, the billion-dollar question is, how do we achieve that? It's not by lobbying or having dialogue, because as you've seen, there is little regard for the rule of law by the political class. If they respected the rule of law, then they wouldn't go ahead and attack and maim people in their homes at night, drag men from their homes, take people's kids out of their beds. I honestly lack words for this government. The way forward is to borrow a leaf from Bangladesh. We have to go all out, have a full-blown out protest, bigger and better than what we experienced on the 25th. We can't do the same thing daily and expect different results. Tujikaze kamba sasa. I propose a whole week of protests, no going home, no retreat, and no surrender. Young people, millennials, and Gen Zs, let's get everyone to Nairobi from everywhere in Kenya, starting from this moment. And earlier on, I'd heard this person saying that, why do we have to get people from our country? Why do I have to go to Webuye? Why do we have to go to Mombasa? Why do we have to go to Shimba Hills? And the answer is quite simple. The people in Nairobi right now, not many people can get on Twitter Space. Let's be clear on that. And what we witnessed on 25th is, I think there was much more public uproar because of the finance bill. We had celebrities amplifying it. We had media stations amplifying it, which has stopped right now. Yesterday, we saw what the media did. They weren't covering it. The celebrities have gone back to business as usual. The influencers too, some were paid not to amplify what's going on. And so right now we need to be as vigorous as the political class. They're outsourcing goons, and we also need to outsource people. We're not going to pay anyone because that's not, we honestly don't even have half of them or half of the funds that these people have in the political class. So what we can do is get like-minded youth. I know there's like-minded youth in Migori, in Garissa, everywhere in this country. If that is doable, then we can go forth. Another thing that I'd like to touch on is I've had quite a bit talk on us creating a political party. I honestly don't think this is the time for that. And I've also had somebody talking about rallies and Okia Mtata, which is, sorry to laugh, but it's quite comical because who would attend these rallies? How safe will these people be? I mean, we have people being taken out of their beds at night. Who will willingly attend these rallies? I think the motion right now should be for us to get these people out of power. Then from there, we can discuss, have a national discussion on the way forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Stacy. Your story fronting in a political party. I also had the same views at the beginning, but from the submissions Zimekam, I'm starting to be convinced it's becoming a bad idea. However, we take in all inputs, alafu based on how they are supported, will forge forward. Even history rally, the same idea is just fronted is what I was thinking. It could be very dangerous to put people on the streets in the form of a rally. Alafu, as you've seen, these people can, and then now we have the entire government and opposition on one side. They will do anything to sabotage such meetings. Ile music concert we had, it's just that because I don't think we had gone this deep. But right now, if you try to pull such thing, the government, I'm not saying that we don't pull them. It would be so good to have such a music concert where we have everyone coming and the musicians nama celebs wanakuja, but they would do anything to sabotage such meetings. So, well, noted for the guy who made those contributions. But
wait, just a bit. I have something else to add.
Yes, in a minute.
Okay. There is no way that an honest and just organization, or rather a political party, will survive this corrupted system. That idea will be dead on arrival. Ata say jokes. It's not even a joke. That idea is dead on arrival. What we need to do before we even get to having political parties, putting new people in power, we need to take the rug off the feet of the government right now. We need to strike them hard. And the way to do that is to have a week-long protest. That's my thought on this matter. We need to have a week-long protest, no going home, no relenting, and no going back on our words. Just a strong week-long protest, and I think that's going to destabilize everything that they think is stable up until this moment. Yeah.
Thank you. Maxtel, then Michelle, in that order. Maxel, your hand was up. Kindly unmute. Going once. Okay. Michelle.
Hi, can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can, loud and clear.
What I want to say, nobody, like, si kila mtu ako hapa kwa X-Space, but everyone ako kwa church. The point of occupying churches is that the message ifike everyone, even our parents. Most of them ako kwa church, and they'll understand. If every Sunday, youth moja simame and I explain here, watoto kwa hiyo kanisa, it's not about the tribe. It's not about the coup because the government is saying it's about a coup. No, it's about us fighting for our rights. Kama the point of occupying the churches, it's a very good idea. Juu watu wote wanaenda kanisa. Hata hao watu wana Ruto, he's using the church as his platform. So we can play his game, not by picking guns and going and shoot police. We can do his game by occupying those churches. The same churches, anatuambia atajenga the churches. Go to the churches, tell your parents, tell your friends, tell the pastors, let's make Nairobi unbearable for him and every part of the country, because kama ana platform ya kuenda kusema kwa kanisa, tunamnyima hiyo platform, tunamnyima hiyo celebrity, because every kanisa atakuwa anaenda, people will know the shit he's trying to pull. Already most of the churches wameona, so itakuwa very hard to do what he's doing right now. My second point is we cannot amplify on political party. Huwezi create political party sahi manze. It's hard. How? Watu already they won't nafikiria political party, watu wanauliwa. You cannot juggle with blood. Tutakuwa different na akina Raila tukiendelea na political party. We'll be just like them. We'll be going the same direction. That's what I had to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Who was next? Maxil, are you on? I'll drop you if you. Let's have Kevin.
Do you hear me?
Yes, we are hearing you.
Okay, my take. Kwanza wacha niseme condolences kwa wale wote wenye walikuwa wamedai kwa protest zetu. Na hii cabinet imechaguliwa leo. This guy is a joker. My issue is mi naona hizi protests zikiwa zilikuwa zina work. Kwa sababu the way we started na watu wakafika hadi parliament, ilifanya mpaka the president akusign hiyo finance bill into law. Akakuja akadismiss almost all of his cabinet. So alikuwa anatumia ile delaying tactics aone what is our next move. So during that time, the political class, because ilikuwa shaken, they came together, wakaona they protect their own interests. That's why now there is no party. There is no one party. There is no ODM ama UDA wako pamoja. Wame-align their goals so that they can protect their selfish interests. These are narcissists. What we need to do, because the protest has been working. Na unaona hata venye tulikuwa alianza kutumia divisive tactics, unaona wengine wanasema tusiende maandamano nini, wale wenye tulikuwa tumeanza nao. So hapo ndio alichukua advantage. Akaona atuingize uoga, akaona venye kama hii ya jana watu wengi hawakutokea, tuseme tu kweli. Lakini tukiwa tumetokea kwa wingi, they fear and we gain our power. Tukitulia wanatuingiza fear, wanapata power yao. So my main point is we should not relent. Naweza sema hii kitu venye imesemekana hapo, the woman speaker alikuwa before me amesema like 1 week long. Mimi hata naweza sema hata si hata 1 week, hata kama ni 1 month long. We protest, we come out in our large numbers to make hii kitu yani waone it is serious, because tukikame out in numbers wanakuwa shaken. That is the power we have according to our constitution kwa 1. The power yetu tunaweza delegate ama tu exercise on ourselves. Tukiwa tumeichukua ni yetu, tuna exercise, we the people wanafeel threat ya sisi kurule as a nation, as a people. Mimi mambo ya party, I'm not for that at the moment, because tukisema mambo ya party, the political class wako na advantage because ni wajuaji kwa mambo ya politics kutuliko as of now. Mambo ya party na nini na wako in power, so watatumia hizo ma authorities zenye ziko hapo, political parties what, because tunajua ni cronies wa the president, the former prime minister. That's why wamejeka pamoja. So sisi pia tushikane pamoja, protest zetu zikuwe ni Kenya wide, tunatokea Monday to Monday, watatusikia. Na venye tu Martin Luther King alisema, freedom is not given freely by the oppressor, but it must be demanded by the oppressed. That is the best and sure bet yenye tutaweza pigana na hao watu through katiba, because tuna exercise our right. We have a right to picket and demonstrate. Mimi naona tu hiyo ndio kitu tunaweza fanya, na mambo ya party sasa bado tusiweke tunakina mtata nini. Hatutaki mtu mwenye huko kwa parliament, tunataka sisi wenyewe the people we fight for ourselves na tusikizwe. That's my take. Thank you.
Life friend, before you go, again, Kimuzi alieka space and then I think he got engaged, or either simu yake imehang or ako engaged. So I'm struggling. The co-host was Dr. Bosire. Aka left. Now I can't leave to come back. The requests zenye zinakam moja moja. And I'm trying to add them as they come. I think ni side yangu ina hang. And I can't drop to return back because Kimuzi is not on. So kindly bear with it. I'm trying my best to add when you wanna request. Kuna watu wana complain they have requested, I'm not seeing them. Not that I'm refusing to add anyone. Actually, I'm even at times na run out of people to add as speakers because in a hang. So I'm not seeing your request. If you are claiming that you've requested since 4, I'm not seeing them. It's not that I'm refusing. Go ahead, Lifeline.
Okay, hi, you guys can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, mine is, I actually agree with most of you, and what is happening is actually tragic, a low down dirty shame, because clearly we are dealing with a very shameless individual, full of pride, ego, I don't know what to call it, and it's so sad because people have died. Why? For what? So that Azimio can gain. They're scavenging. They're scavenging what they did not work for, because these same people were yelling the badness of this man a few days ago. Now he's a saint. So clearly we see that the political class are one, and there's something very wrong in parliament, that even the same people go there and become something like possessed. So mine is to say, what going forward, what needs to be done? Is it Ruto goes now, or is it when? Because I think now it's a matter of when. Because now it's either accelerate or stop, because people can't keep dying. There's a problem. We first have to admit there's a big, big problem, which we have to counter. I feel like in Kenya, I think he really spoke on what is going on, and I felt his pain, because that's what we are feeling, much as we may not voice it. But it's tragic that people are being shot while they have flags, they have water. Yet yesterday we saw Ndudi goons, because those are goons, perambulating the whole city with no consequences, passing cops, and they're there acting like they're blind. But when peaceful protesters are going here and there, it's a problem. They tear gas them, they beat them, they bar them juju to put them in their lorries like they're thugs, while the real thugs were let to go free, even when supermarkets were being looted. So how do we counter this? And I always say, if you study people like our president, you can't beat him at the game unless you think like him. He's those kind of people. To beat him, you have to play the game his way. So how does that work? What do we do? Because it can be every single day. People are dying. And I also agree with the guy who said human nature, interest will win. People can be bought. And it is true. We've seen it on the timeline. We've seen celebrities, interests. Interests are what? We are in the interest stage. So what do we do to counter this? Because it can't be psych for like this. Then people are being picked off one by one because their interests are met. And it's one thing for your interests to be met, then you start playing double agent. Please, if your interests have been met, shut up completely, fall off. Don't be goading people, yet you're sitting pretty somewhere. Just shut up and keep off the whole movement. You've done your deed, keep moving. Because that blood money is never good. And also to speak on moving forward, I think people just need one voice and a plan. I know it may not be 100, but there's a way people can just say, this is it, and let's go. Because also the on-off is not working. Clearly it's not. Because now it's become like the norm or a pastime. So how do you get taken seriously? I think that is it.
Sawa.
Davis, can I speak? Sorry, I didn't put my hand up.
Who's that?
Bosire.
Yeah, Bosire, I was trying to chat you.
Oh, sorry.
Kindly, guys, I'm going to request you that Dr. Bosire create a space, alafu to join Nuko, because this issue is persisting. I can't add people, and I'm the only co-host. Na host amepata shughuli. So kindly, Bosire, if that's fine with you, create a space and then we join there. Itahang na I'm getting people with all sorts of cries. Ati nimekata kwa add.
1 minute.
Yeah, kindly. let's join the other space, alafu we continue with the conversation.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I think everybody's quiet. They were creating a group. I don't know. So we are waiting for direction from Kimuzi. Or somebody else.
Okay. So we must leave this group then.
It's like we must leave the group. I'm not very sure, but we are waiting for the direction from the co-host who was giving direction. I don't know whether is it a crime if we can be talking while they are preparing the other group or good. Let me talk. Meanwhile, as they are preparing the other group, let me talk. I'll be very short. Hope everybody is listening. For me, I think our nation needs a revolution, needs a change, needs a new leadership that is committed to listen to the citizens of this country. Because as we speak, or as I speak, even from the list of the cabinet secretaries, I don't see whether the president listened to the Mwananchi or to the Gen Z and the other citizens. So it means that we may not expect a different thing in the future, because it's the same person and there's the same people. So I'm saying that for me, I think I believe in God, and I think that in everything God can hear the cry of people. And even as we are in this social media, wherever we are, crying and seeing how our people, our aunties, our uncles, our children are being tormented, our cousins, our brothers and sisters, we are crying. And I know God is watching and is listening. But now we need to act. And to act, it means we have to be determined to bring a revolution outside the political class, which is in this country. For example, you cannot tell me that somebody who has been there in government since 1980s up to now is there, is a leader. What kind of change, what kind of time does he want to bring change in this country? If up to now, for these 20 or 30 years, he has not brought any change. So it means that we need to change our perception and the way we look at things. We need to have new leaders, people who are willing, who have the hearts of people in this country in their hearts. People are willing to be committed to serve people. People who are clean, who have not been mentioned in corruption cases. People who are new in this endeavor. Otherwise, if we'll be doing recycling and say, I think this one is better, this one is better, I think we'll not achieve our goal. And there's somebody who talked about fasting and praying. In fact, we need to do a lot of fasting and praying. Wherever you are, even in your house, pray to God. He listens and he hears. He'll change things the way we don't even believe. And we let us not to lose hope or lose direction or focus. Let us know what we want first. Because others are saying Ruto must go. Others are saying we need to see him 2027. So we are not even sure what we need. If we need Ruto to go, then let us put in place mechanisms to make him go. And if we need him to get out of power 2027, let us now begin to prepare. But the key thing I think we have to do is committing ourselves to God first. Then the next thing is taking action. If it is mass action, we need to intensify. Let us do it. Let people come out in numbers and let us protest peacefully. And I know from there we should have taken the powers that they have, because it is our constitutional right. And by doing so, I think we'll change this country. And another thing I want to say is that sometimes we misuse God, because the clergy said, I'm sorry to say that, the clergy say that God has chosen Ruto and everything. And the church members believed and they voted him. But I don't think whether God can choose such an arrogant person. So it means sometimes the church is misusing God, is misusing the name of God. So I think also we can be able to talk. I know we go to various churches. Let us talk to our clergy, let us talk to our pastors, so that they can seek the will of God and the guidance of God over this issue and over this nation. That is my submission for now. Thank you. God bless you. Grace Runat, what can you say? I see you're a speaker. I don't know, maybe you can speak something.
Yes, I'm a speaker, and I've been told the protests from the parliament one to this current one. Yesterday, we were almost killed by the OCS. I think he was from Central. We had marched from CBD to Mombasa Road. So when we reached Nyayo Stadium, that's when all hell broke loose. And sadly, people are arrested, and I haven't heard anyone talking about that. Pia mi karibu nishikwe, but I'm a youth. I used my sprinting to go past the police, but we were marked and we were not allowed to go back to CBD. Also, I want to talk about the occupying churches. That's a very good idea, because I'm from the ghetto and they use from here. Yesterday, those goons were paid. A friend of mine was paid also to go and cause mayhem. I came home and found out that Kamuliza, why? He said it is because of money. They can't refuse money. Kamuliza, you are being paid 2,000 uende upoteze pikipiki because ati haupati do, economy imekuwa mbaya. Kaniambia like some things you can't comprehend. Huku ghetto polisi, yani the police wamekuwa ego yao imepanda juu. They start from the ghetto. They shoot to kill orders zinaanziaga huku kwa ghetto, na zilianza time ya Kibaki wenye alipeana ile shoot to kill. Watu wakakubaliana ya kuwa mkiona mwizi mnaua nini. Hizi vitu tu ndogo ndogo zikafanya polisi wamepembe. So now they are used to killing every day. Wao hawajali juu washazoea. They are the killer cops. Mahali ilikuwa inafaa ifuate sheria, watu wapelekwe koti wa nini, mtu anakuja na ua anapeana bonoko. Ndio maana mambo na bonoko ilianza. Si ati hizi vitu zimeanzia ati zimeanza saa hizi. Killer cops ni watu wenye wameshazoea. Kamukunji wote. Most of them ni from Kamukunji na huku kwetu. Hakuna mahali pengine makila cops wako wengi kama si Kamukunji na Shauri Moyo. Na most of them wanaishi kwa extort watu. biashara, chang'aa, nini. So mkiwaambia ati sijui ati hawana kitu, hao watu wako na pesa. Kila siku wakiwa wanapitia wapoe 100 kwa barabara, wapoe 50 plus na mshahara yao, plus bado ukishikwa uende utoe 2,000 plus watu wa simu huku. Polisi wako na pesa ya corruption, ndio maana tunafaa tumalizie corruption. Corruption ndio the bigger issue here. Hii police brutality haiwezi isha kama corruption imeendelea. Na kumaliza corruption ni lazima tutoe Ruto. Juu yeye hata si Ruto peke yake, the system ya KANU. Moi alisema KANU itaishi for 100 years. 100 years iko mbali, but si sahi tunafaa to prove wrong. Si tulipata vitu zimechange. Hatuko time ya Moi, tulipata freedom time ya Kibaki, na hiyo freedom ndio tunafaa tuendelee nayo. Ungeniambia mimi nimesikia watu wakisema story ya anarchy. Mimi nimeona watu wakiuliwa, wengine CBD. Nimebeba hata watu wengine nikipeleka kwa hospitali hapo Jamia. For me ningesema tu kama ni kujiprotect, watu wajiprotect. Kama polisi amekuja huku kwa residential areas na wanataka kuwafanya vibaya, wewe jiprotect. Kwanza hiyo ni trespassing. You can use whatever. Huwezi ngoja tu hapo hivyo upigwe risasi na kuna watu. Kwanza majirani wako wanafaa kusaidia. Mtu ako juu anaona mtu mwingine akipigwa risasi, chemsha maji moto umwagia watu. Kwani iko nini? We will all die. Hii story nyingine nafaa kusema ni story ya IBC na kurikola wa MPs. Hii kitu hatujapanga, tujui nani ataanza kurikoliwa, tujui watu wengine huko hata wajui venye inaendelea. So vitu kama hizi, kama mimi sasa niko very informed hapa hivi kiasi, lakini huko mtaani watu wengi hawako informed. Watu huku mtaani ni wasikie kuna maandamano, wajue ni siku ya kwenda kuiba. Sasa hii maandamano imekuwa slow juu mayouth wengi wa ghetto hawatokei. Kwa nini? Juu hao wanataka kwenda tu kuiba. Sasa venye sasa hii tunaanza kudeal na goons. Unaona ile tana penye walikuwa wanaenda wote kwa maandamano hawaendi. Ukiuliza mtu kwa nini anakwambia hakuna form huko. Au sasa hii youth wa ghetto wamekuwa akili ile ya pesa ya haraka. Na nikaa iko kila mahali. Ndio unasikia mtu kama huyu MP huyo Osoro anaambia watu nitawalipa. Ndio unajua sasa mentality ya Kenya ni watu walipwe. Yaani youth wengi wale wa chini wanataka tu pesa ya haraka. Mtu hataki kufanyia kazi hataki kufanyia kazi pesa yake. Na hiyo pesa akipata yote inapelekwa kwa drugs. Kwanza hii story ya drugs ndio tunafaa kwanza tunaishughulikia pia. Zimekuwa menace to the society. Mimi naona our last result ni hiyo anarchy. Our last. Sasa hii tujaribu kuoccupy hizo churches, tufanye civic education kila mahali. Tutafute fair to occupy mali to occupy. Hiyo sittings sioni ikiwezekana. Jua watu hata kama mnakoga mmesimama hivyo wanatupa tu tear gas. Zile tear gas ingine ni ya kulipuka. Utakuwa umekaa chini ikulipue tena iko tena ni story nyingine mingi. Kama ni kusitini tunafaa tukiwa watu wengi sana. Kama vile ile siku tuliitana Uhuru Park, watu wakuje Uhuru Park, wakitoka wakuje wasitini mahali. Hivyo inaweza kuwa, lakini venye tunaanzaga tunakuwa hivi kidogo inakuwa ni ngumu sana. Jana pia tulicreate diversion mzuri sana ya JKIA, tukatokea City Hall. I think tunafaga kwa tunafanya vitu kama hizo. Tunawaambia tunaenda mahali fulani, tunatokea mahali ingine. Na pia tunafaa tuna form groups za maandamano. Mtu mmoja anakuwa kwa hii group moja na kwa hii group ingine. So hizi group huku tuna relay message na huku tuna relay message. So mtu mmoja ndo atakuwa ni mwenye ana relay message kwa group zingine, na kwa hiyo group nyingine kuna mtu mwingine ana relay message kwa group nyingine. So huku kwa Twitter tunasema tunaenda mahali fulani, lakini kwa WhatsApp kuna mtu mwenye tuna relay message mahali tutaenda mahali kwingine mahali fulani, ndio tutoa watu off guard. Juu this past maandamano tumekuwa tukipatikana off guard. Unapata uko tao, ukienda huku lori ya polisi, ukienda huku lori ya polisi, ukienda huku kando lori ya polisi. Hakuna mahali unaweza enda. So we need diversions. Na tukiwa na diversions ndio tunaweza pata watu wakiwa wengi. Na historia ya constitution, mimi sioni kama kuna mahali constitution inatumikaga, labda kwa watu wadogo. Watu wadogo kama sisi, lakini sijaiona anyone mkubwa amekuwa held accountable. Mimi sijaiona. Hata sijui time ya nane sijaiona. So hii constitution sijui kama ilikuwa ni yetu ama inakoga na wenye wanafaa waifuate. Yote ukienda police station uende wapi ujaribu kusema constitution, hakuna constitution unafuata. Watu wenye wanakubali constitution ni lawyers, juu polisi wanaogopa kotini peke yake. Na pia mliona venye walifanyia lawyers pale Central. So these people hawajali kitu yote. Hii constitution tunafaa mimi naona tunafaa kuna referendum constitution, tuweke constitution yenye mpaka president anaweza kuwa held accountable akikuwa kwa hiyo kiti. Ndo waogope. Unajua sasa hii waogopi. Na polisi pia tunafaa tuimekikwe very independent, na pia mkubwa wa polisi akifanya makosa anakuwa accountable, hata anashikwa. Si ati mambo na kuresign. Mtu ana resign ya nini? Ama sijui kutransfer, na wapata umetransfer yote, umetoka huku umepeleka huko wengine. Hiyo ni bullshit pana. Huku polisi unapata polisi wamemea kichwa sana. Mpaka kuna mwingine huku kwetu area kwetu amepiga mtu mpaka amemuua, na ni nyumba 10. Imagine sasa mtu kaa ordinary kama mimi mwenye si nyumba 10 wanaweza nifanyia nini? Ikishindikana KDF hapo inchi, tutajua kudini na KDF afterwards. Cause sasa hii leadership mali imeenda, tunaenda into a ditch. Tuoni our now and our future pia, it's bleak. Think ni hizo tu ndo mimi nasema. Blessed. Na unarudi kwa wawili tu, tumepewa speaker. Sasa sijui kunaenda aje.
I think sijui kama Kimuzi is around, maybe, but we'll continue speaking mpaka wale wengine watuambie the group is ready. And another issue that I think we should also address is coordination and unity all over the country. We should be, by now, we should be having, or we should come up with key people from each and every, can I say constituency or county? People that can also reach other people in the rural areas, in the grassroots, to be able to disseminate the same information. You know, they say information is power. So once people are informed of who we are and what we want to do for the sake of our country, then I think it's easy for them to rise and to join hands with us.
Yeah,
So,
pia
mhm.
naona time ya finance bill, hiyo finance bill ilitranslatiwa to different languages, so people waliweza comprehend wazazi wetu nani, so ukapata we are all one. Lakini saa hizi unapata hata hiyo watu wa kutranslate wale walikuwa wana translate hizo vitu zingine hakuna mtu. Alafu pia agenda yetu sahii, yani hatuna agenda. Tunasema Ruto must go, lakini unapata mtu mwingine anauliza Ruto must go why? Ana agenda. I think tunafaa tukuwe na agenda moja. Ruto must go why? Juu amefanya A, B, C, D, F, G, H. Naona?
Yeah, that is very true. We must have a focus. We want Ruto to go. Reasons why he should go, and after that, what next? Because as we stand, for example, right now, maybe, for example, we push the president to resign. We don't have IBC in place to be able to conduct elections after the 90 days or after the period of army taking over is over, so that we can do elections, or the deputy president to take over. Still, I think at some level we might have not reached our goal or our goal or our expectation. So also, as we trade, let us be careful now where we are going and what we want. And for example, what if Ruto reforms right now and begin to do things right? Are we in a position to accept him back to be the president of this nation? You know, so we have to exploit all other possibilities, so that at the end of the day, we are sure that the direction on the road we want to take is this one.
Yeah, and pia nilikuwa nasema tunafaa tuangalie pia siku za kuprotest. Unajua hatuwezi kuwa tuna protest Tuesday na Thursday. Protest maybe Tuesday na Sunday, ndio hapa watu wengi wa biashara wanalia biashara jebi. Unajua pia we must accommodate kila mtu. So kama hiyo ni Tuesday na hiyo Sunday hiyo tukioccupy churches, pia tukimaliza kuoccupy churches tunatoka kaa tumeprotest. I think pia kwa juu ya kila siku pia ni ngumu. Watu sahii ni maskini, hawana do. Ukiambia mtu aende akamp nini huko, na hata pesa ya kukula ile ya kawaida yenyewe mtu hawezi pata, umwambia aende akamp the whole week CBD, haitawezekana, na wengine wako na watoto. So watu wanataka change, lakini pia we must think of ways forward. Ama kama ni hiyo kukamp, tupate donors basi, donors wenye wataweza kusupport watu. Huwezi enda kukamp mahali hiyo wiki mzima na hujui watoto wako nyumbani watakula nini ama nini, huko pia we mwenyewe utakula nini. Huwezi fast siku 7, juu Ruto hawezi toka na siku 2, na inakuwa ni ngumu sana. So kama ni maandamano tutaendelea, lakini ikwe maybe Tuesdays and Sundays, ama tu maybe hii wiki hiyo ingine tuna rest, hiyo ingine tunaendelea. Na pia civic education nafaa inaendelea kila saa. Kitu ya maana hapa hivi ni civic education. Tukiwa na civic education tutapata watu wengi sana. Juu watu hawajui kitu inaendelea. Mtu unamwambia tuko na minerals anashtuka. Watu wengi hawako space. Huku Geto watu hawajui space ni nini. Hata wacha space X. Watu hawajui X ni nini. Watu wengi ni TikTok. Tunafaa Watu wa X wanaingia TikTok, mnachambua hizi vitu, mnazimake funny, ma graphic designer mani. Yani hii kitu civic education inafaa ikuwe inakaa ni fun. Ukielezea mtu anaelewa, yani yani kwa venye nini ilikuja ile finance bill mpaka ngome ikatolewa anguka, na unaona yani watu wa Gero wanaanza kuelewa hivyo. Sasa ndo vitu vinafaa kwa zinafanyika. Should be fun. Civic education ndio the most important thing. Tukitaka kupata watu wengi sana tunafaa tufanye civic education. Watu wa bodaboda kwanza, watu wa bodaboda wanafaa wajue sasa mafuta yenye wanatumia hiyo fuel levy, huyu jamaa alipandisha mafuta, inafaa iko chini, inafaa iko juu. Anapunguza na shilingi 1 na anafaa kupunguza na shilingi karibu 10. Hiyo haifai.
Yeah, you're right. About the civic education is very important. Na tunafaa tutafute njia ambazo wale watu kijijini pia wafikiwe, waambiwe ni nini inaendelea na kwa sababu gani maandamano inafanywa, so that even also them they can be part of this process. Unapata za zingine mtu ajui hata kama kuna maandamano Kenya, so he's very innocent or she's very innocent, somebody in the village there, yet these are the people who vote. And maybe we also need to look at the power of voting. I think nimekuja kuona hii Kenya, we have also one problem that the vote does not count in the real sense. At the end of the day, what counts, the influence and the power you have with the in charge bodies as far as elections are concerned. So if we may have people who are clean and genuine, who will conduct elections the way it is supposed to be, with transparency, with non-partisan kind of spirit, with non-partisan spirit, watu ambao waegemea upande wote, people who cannot be compromised by money, by what. I want to use one example. Let me use him because he excelled in that area. We remember the former Chief Justice Maraga. We need such people who can forsake even billions of money for the sake of the lives of Kenyans. Not people, mtu akiona 100 million anaweza amua atangaze jina ingine. You know, that's also another big problem that we have in this country. Right now, people, we can for example do civic education and tell people, and then people change their mind, they want to vote correctly, to choose the right person. But at the end of the day, unapata mtu mwenye anasomwa huko ni tofauti na yule ambaye watu wamechagua. It's also something that we need to look at. And this thing is what happened in 2007, because what people voted for is not what they got. So they had to retaliate and ask questions. And at the end of the days, we have chaos in this country. So such things, and then also the judicial system, it has to be cleaned somehow, because ukiangalia kama if it is an appeal that is presented to the Supreme Court, you know, it means the lives of the 50 million Kenyans is in their hands to decide who is to be the president, who is to be who. So these key positions in the country, they should be also looked at, because hata kama tufanye nini, sisi tunaweza vote vizuri, but at the end of the day, mtu mwenye anatangaza ni tofauti. You know, sometimes it's very bitter, it's very painful when you vote, when the will of the people is diverted. So it's also another issue that we need to look at as a nation, and it has been recurring. It has been recurring for several years, and we as citizens, we are not very confident about people who are conducting these elections. And if we are not very we don't trust them, then it means they are not worthy to be where they are. So hiyo ni kitu ingine pia tunataka tuangalie. So even after Ruto being out, also we have to look at the judicial system. We have to look at the IEBC, because those are the key bodies that determine major decisions as far as electing leaders is concerned in this nation.
Ya hiyo mambo na IBC kwanza, hata sasa hatuna power. Hata IBC kwanza si hao ndio wanaenda kuiform saizi wao wenyewe, Uhuru, nani, Ruto na Raila. So hata sasa tukianza kusema tunapangia mambo ya 2027 na hiyo IBC tayari tutajua tu itakuwa compromise. Kwanza niliona kwa hiyo IBC watatumia magari kama polling stations. If kama watatumia magari kama polling stations, si itakuwa already rigged. Yani ni recipe for rigging elections. Alafu nilisikia mambo ingine na wale refugees wa Kakuma. So niliambiwa hiyo refugees ilifungwa na Ruto sahii anapea watu IDs wote. So Ruto sahii ako tayari kama ni 700k strong. 700,000 strong. Sisi Gen Z hatupewi, wengi wapewi ID saizi. Bitoka amekatalia na IDs. Inamaanisha huyu jamaa 2027 hakuna mahali anaenda, na sasa tayari amechukua opposition yote. So hatuwezi sema ati tutangoja 2027. Huyu jamaa tunafaa tufanye every way possible atoke saizi. Na pia IBC tunafaa tujue venye tutaiconstitute, si wao peke yao constitute. Pia sisi tunafaa kuwa involved, na hatuna leader, so tutafanya aje ndo tukuwe involved kwa hiyo IBC? Tunafaa tutafute mbinu yenye tutafanya tukuwe involved kwa hiyo IBC, ndio hata kama wataweka watu wao, at least pia si tukuwe na mtu wetu hapo hivyo, ndio tupate venye nasemaje, like pia si tukitaka queen tunafaa pia tutumie akili kama hiyo yao. Na pia tunafaa tuambie hawa kina Kimuzi, kina nani, hawa watu wako na followers wengi, msitumie matusi mingi, mnafanya tunapoteza followers wenye wangefaa kwa hii movement. Unapata kama mtu ni mzazi ako mahali akisikia mtu kama Kimuzi ametukanana na kwa space, sijui fuck Ruto sijui nini, anaona watu hawako serious. Na tena unajua hii Gen X wengi wao wamelelewa respect their elders. Hata pia sisi tumeamua to respect their elders, lakini respect ni two ways. You can't, kama una ni disrespect, mimi siwezi kukurespect. Alafu pia kuna wazee wengine mtu alikuwa ni full, amezeeka akikuwa tu hivyo full. So huwezi respect mtu na una akili yake thinking capacity iko very low, inakuwa ni ngumu sana. So kuwinao Gen X lazima tuoneshe, the only way tunaweza winao Gen X ni tunafaa tuoneshe ni kama tunawa respect. So hata kama tuna disagree nao hapa, tusitumie hizo words za matusi ABCD, ndio tujaribu kwa win. Wengi wao ni wale wanaenda church nini. So tukitaka kuwin civic education lazima tuoneshe tuna respect hao watu. Sijui kama mna get my point. Blessed.
I'm getting you very clearly. Nakupata vizuri sana. Nakupata vizuri sana because matusi nayo haileti shangwe, si kitu cha kufurahia, because at the end of the day you can convey your message without even abusing somebody or insulting somebody. So ndio maana
ya alafu na pia nasema tukienda kaa venye tunaenda maandamano, tunafaa kuwa na maybe a song yenye inaleta watu pamoja, ama kitu kama venye tunasemaga like kuna wengine wakifika huko wanaanza kusema sijui matako yako Ruto. Hizo si vitu zenye tunafaa tufanye, hizo ni vitu za watu wa ODM walikuwa wanafanya, na tena ni kitu hai make sense. Hufai kwanza kwenda huko unaanza kutukana mtu. Tunafaa tukienda huko tuna chant kitu yenye ina unite kila mtu. Unajua watu wengine tu tutuka hiyo, ukianza tu kusema matako yako Ruto, unapata kama huyu jamaa alikuwa amekusupport anaacha kukusupport. Tunafaa kuwe na an anthem. Mtu I think artist wanafaa wafanye hiyo kazi. Tafutie tu kitu yenye tu tukienda hiyo ndo tutakuwa tunasema, tukiendelea kuni demands zetu. Then nimesahau kusema condolences kwa wale watu wenye wamekufa wote. Kitu yenye tunataka kwanza sasa hizi ni justice. Mimi hata hakuna kitu kingine yenye nataka sasa hii. Ya kwanza ni justice. Justice ndio inafaa ifanyike. Juu huyo mtu amekufa angekuwa ni mimi juu nimeattend maandamano zote. So mimi nimeponea, ni Mungu ndio ameniponea, lakini ingekuwa ni mimi si ningetaka justice mahali niko. So kitu ya kwanza yenye mimi nataka apart from anything ni justice. Nataka hao polisi hao wenye wameuja au vijana wote washikwe, wapelekwe ndani, hata ikiwezekana wanyongwe. Hiyo ndio kitu yenye mimi naweza taka. The first thing tukitaka kudeal na police brutality lazima hao watu washikwe. Watu wameanza kuanza kitambo from baby Pendo. Hakuna kitu inaendeleaga. Unapata mtu ampelekwa, watu wengi wameshikwa, polisi wengine lakini ukiangalia hakuna kitu imefanyika. Mimi sijaiona polisi wenye wamekuwa prosecuted, na hata wako prosecuted unapata yani wanapatiwa the least, si the max, wanapatiwa the least punishment. Kwa nini? No, wanafaa wapatiwe kwanza. Polisi ndio wanafaa akishika upatikane na hatia, anafaa apatiwe the maximum ile kabisa. Ile ndio au polisi wengine wakibaki hivi, mtu akienda kufanya kitu anaona mimi nikifanya hii kitu consequences itanrudia mimi personally. Na pia watu wanafaa hiyo ICC tunafaa tupeleke watu huko. Mimi najua mimi sina nguvu ya kupeleka, lakini naambia lawyers wenye wako hapa hivi, draftini hiyo kitu, pelekeni ya watu wa ICC. Watu washikwe, watu wanafaa, kila mtu anafaa bebe mzigo yake. Huwezi kuwa unatuma watu kuwa watu na wewe unakaa tu vizuri tu kwa ofisi. Hiyo ifai. It can never ifai hata kuendelea. Kenya, we are democratic. We are a democratic country, Kenya. Na mimi naona kama tunataka hiyo sitting, maybe sasa tunafaa tuchange pesa kama venye Hanifa venye alipo ile role ya venye alichukua ile role akachangisha watu wakapelekwa OC, wengine wakapelekwa wapi, maybe tuchange tena ndio watu wapate fare, to organize food nini ndio watu waweze kuja Nairobi. Naona iko mzuri. Nisikia mtu hapa akisema mtu anaweza host mtu mwingine, hiyo inafaa. Kama unaweza host mtu, wacha watu wakuje tu wa host, twende wote maandamano tutoe jamaa. Na kitu kingine pia tunafaa Gen Z tunajiorganize, tunafanya vitu mzuri venye watu walikuwa wanafanya, wana donate blood. We can donate blood, tukuje tufanye charity work. Yani Gen Z tunafaa tufanye tu vitu mzuri. Hiyo ya anarchy inafaa kuwa our last resort. Tushajaribu kila kitu, tumejaribu civic education, tumejaribu kurecall imekataa, tumejaribu nini. So hiyo inakuwa our last resort, na hiyo anarchy ikikuja tunakuja full force. Kila mtu ni kujitolea. Juu hapo hivyo ni life and death. hakuna kitu ingine. So tukienda hiyo ya anarchy, ni mtu anajitolea. Hiyo mnafaa mjue hivyo. Hapo hivyo hakuna cha kurudi nyuma. Kama ni anarchy in life and death. Mnaona venye Bangladesh waliamua. Mtu anaenda mpaka polisi, mbele ya polisi. Polisi anapiga risasi. Mtu tu amesimama tu hivi, watu waogopi. Juu mtu amejitolea. Na hiyo mimi najua bado Kenya hatujafika hapo. Juu watu bado hawajafika ile kujitolea. Hata ukiona tu town, unaona tu mtu ameshikwa, watu wako around yeye, wanamwangalia tu akipelekwa. Lakini kama hii ya juzi, ule kijana anaitwa I think sijui ni Kamau, unaona alikuja akasaidia mwenzake akaachwa kushikwa. Tungekuwa tunasaidiana hivyo, hata hao polisi wangetuzoea. Tunafaa kama tumeenda maandamano, ukiona mwenzako wa maandamano anashikwa, usikubali ashikwe. Kama ni kutua, afadhali utuue sote.
That is true. And I think, when you are together, a good number of people, like now, if we can be able to mobilize like 500 plus 1,000 people in Nairobi city a single day, protesting peacefully, I think we will have sent a message, a serious message, and the things will begin to change. So for me, I think it is good also when we plan like a mega protest in Nairobi, because Nairobi is the capital city. We want to take over Nairobi. If we take over Nairobi, then we have taken over Kenya. A mega protest. People from all corners of Kenya, we come to Nairobi to do a peaceful protest and presenting our grievances and our needs and what we want to be done to the current regime. We can mobilize a fund so that we can have even buses from each and every county that is taking people to Nairobi, those ones who are willing to go and protest and join hands as Kenyans, showing solidarity. And I think if we do that thing, I'm sure it will shake and cause a change. We go to causing anarchy and all those things. Those, as our brother said, those are last. It will be a last, the last thing that we are left with. We don't have another avenue. That is the only thing that we are remaining with, that we can be able to nazafanya hizo to cause it will be now life and death. But before that, we need to do like civic education right into the grassroots, because when a change is coming, by the way, haikujangi siku moja ama wiki mbili ama wiki tatu. It is a process, and this process it just be continuous, building from on top of another, one event building on another, one activity building on another, until we cause a change. So like now, civic education, we need to do it to the grassroots level, meaning there is some financial implications, which of course we need to ourselves, we have money, we can be able to have a central kitty whereby we contribute, and then we begin to do civic education where people, representatives from various counties, who will be able to be the representative, and who will be able to do business on behalf of citizens of Kenya, of this group. And I know there are other groups, but we have one common goal. And also, we also then need to have a demonstration, a mega demonstration in Nairobi, which means also there's financial implication of that. People from various towns and counties in this country, we gather in Nairobi protesting peacefully and presenting our grievances to the authority or to the relevant regime that is in power right now. Then if we don't see any change, then we can say, because now we don't see any change, now we can take the other way, other options. Or what do you think, my brother?
Yeah, I think we need to do that. Na pia nimeona Shanki ameweka hapo hivyo juu mambo na KHRC nini. Hao watu wanafaa sit camp huko Magithurai nini waende ulize watu personally, si kungoja serikali itangaze. Serikali obvious inatangazaga uongo. Mmeona Kware, we saw it live on TikTok. Mnaona bodies zimetolewa kama 10, unakuja kuangalia kwa news unaambiwa ni 6. How aje sasa? Watu wanafaa waende, au leo society, au ndo tunawategemea saizi juu, au ndo watu wamebaki, waende waset camp huko, watu wakuje walete evidence, tujue watu wangapi wameadaptiwa, watu wangapi wana miss, watu wangapi wamekufa. Mbona mochari watu wanapelekwa, mtu amepigwa risasi, records zikiangalia ati mob justice wapi? Accident kila siku accident. Kwani how many accidents zinafanyika Kenya? Unapata kila mtu amepigwa risasi akipelekwa mochari ni accident. Aje. Kwani watu ni wajinga? Alafu kuna kitu ingine, huku foreigners wamekuwa wengi sana Kenya. Nilikuwa naongea na watu wengine na mamadamu huku nikiwapea civic education, wananiambia siku hizi, zamani walikuwa wanalipwa 6,000 wakienda kufanya kazi maybe Eastleigh or Westlands. Saizi imeshuka hadi 45. Juu ya nini? Juu watu wengi wanakuja huku bila documents, Waganda, watu wengine from everywhere wanapatiwa kazi cheaply, yani wanafanya kazi cheaply. Juu hii pesa yetu huku kwao ni pesa mingi sana, so unapata sasa nao wanakaa kwa nyumba moja, unapata wanakaa kwa nyumba mtu kama 10, so kwao rent itakuwa ni pesa mingi. So unapata landlords huku kote wameongeza rent, imekuwa pesa mingi. Wewe Mkenya ulikuwa unaenda kufanya kazi mahali fulani, ukienda huko unapata huyu jamaa amekuwa cheap labor, yani amepeana cheap labor kuliko ile yako, so huwezi pata kazi. So unapata inakuwa ni very hard for you to survive. Ndio maana unaona hata venye mnasema demonstrations tufanye wiki mzima. Mimi nawaambia watu hawezi fanya demonstrations wiki mzima juu saizi Kenya economy ni mbaya, na pia kazi kupatikana imekuwa ni ngumu. Hakuna kazi. Kwanza kwa watu wenye wako low income kabisa, au watu wagero hawawezi kutokea maandamano. Wakitokea wengi wanaendaga na mentality ya kuiba. Mimi najua juu mimi niko huku, so kuchange hiyo kitu ni ngumu. Demos tunafaa civic education ifike huku, lakini pia unaona kwa nini watu wanatumika kuiba? Guns wakilipwa wanatoka ghetto. Juu ghetto saizi ndio affected most. Ndio maana watu wanatumika, watu wanalipwa kutoka huku. Mtu ako na pikipiki yake ameenda amekaa pale, vile amekosa customer, akuja hapo hiyo 500, 2,000 si ataenda na hiyo pikipiki. Si ati ni yake, hiyo pikipiki ni ya very few, na hiyo yote imeletwa juu ya corruption. Imekula kila kitu, mpaka ule mtu mkubwa peke yake anaweza, unapata hizo pikipiki karibu 10 zote ni zake. Corruption ni kitu, corruption ni genocide tu. Corruption inaua kila kitu. Mona carbon credits, unapata ati Kenya tumeuza carbon credits zetu kwa Dubai. Tunauza nini carbon credits? Hao watu wanatumia akili, waende wa pollute globe, sisi ndio tukuje wanunue carbon credits zetu. Hatuwezi expand carbon, sisi hatuwezi expand carbon credit yetu. Why? Yani sielewi hii mambo. So tunafaa pia tunakuja huku chini, tunachukua agenda za watu. Kama ni kero, unakuja unajua shida yao ni gani. Kuna kitu yenye tu inaweza fanya mtu atoke aende andamani. Wewe unaweza kuwa na agenda yako kubwa, lakini kumbe kuna agenda ndogo inaweza fanya mtu atoke aandamane, ndogo tu hiyo tu kidogo yenye inamgusia. Kuna mtu hataki kitu fulani, hizo tunafaa tu personalize hizo kitu, si ni movement tu. Unakuja unauliza unajua hii area fulani watu kitu inawasumbuaga ni hii, so hii pia tuna include kwa hiyo ni so ukiitisha maandamano unapata everyone anakuwa accommodated juu ume personalize hiyo kitu yake yenye anajua hii kitu inakuwa muuma. Juu watu wengine ukimwambia sijui maandamano sijui finance bill, watu wengine hata hawajui finance bill. Hii finance bill kwa nini imekuwa ni juu watu waliambiwa kuhusu land, hata kama land bill iko kwa hiyo finance bill, lakini hiyo propaganda hiyo tu ya land hiyo ndio ilifanya watu wengi watoke. So tunafaa tutafute vitu zenye zina personalize. Hii gavaka inajifanya wajanja ili atumie propaganda, pia si tutumie propaganda juu tunajua after kutumia propaganda itakuja itusaidie sisi. Juu hao watu wakitoka, sisi ndo hizo minerals zenye zinamainiwa na wazungu, si ndo tutazipata. Benefits zitarudi kwetu, kazi zitarudi kwetu. So kivyo vyote vile tunafaa tujue venye tutachange hii system, kama ni propaganda, kama ni, lakini to personalize. I think to customize maandamano yetu iko customized. Hivyo ndo nataka kusema. Unakuja kwa kila region, kama ni mauaji hiyo, kama ni lands hiyo, kama unaona kama politicians wa coast wanatumiaga mambo na lands, pia sisi tunaweza ambia wa coast story na lands. Tukienda region nyingine kama ni kahawa huko kwa Kikuyu tunasema kahawa, tukienda huku tunasema hii tu, yani tunaimake, yani mtu akiona hivi anaona better, anaona enyewe hii kitu kifanyika kutakuwa na a better future. Tuseme tu Ruto must go, tunafaa tuseme Ruto must go juu amekataa kufanya hivi na hivi na hivi na akifanya hivi ita affect hivi, akifanya hivi ita affect hivi. Kama land aki-implement ile Truth and Justice ile TJRC, akiniu kila mtu atapata haki yake, unaona. Na system tunasema tuna change system yote mpaka akina Uhuru. Tunataka kujua land injustices kutoka mahali zilianzia. Maumau wakupigania, Maumau walipigana, lakini hiyo independence haikupatikana. Kina Kenyatta ndo walichukua hii independence, wakaiba malandi kila mahali, wakatuacha sisi bila anything. Tunafaa tuanzie huko chini. Hizo manini zote zinafaa zinakusanywa, zote hizo reports zote zenye zimefanyika, pia sisi tunaweza fanya report yetu, tuanze from chini tupate independent yenye. Mi nasemaga Kenya, mi bado hatujaipata independence. Juu vitu zenye naona zinafanyika zinakuwa zimeniudhi sana. Tunafaa tupate independence ya ukweli. Tuko na tu freedoms lakini hatuna independence. Kuna freedom of speech, na pia hiyo pia kuna mahali huwezi iongelea. Kuna mahali ukienda ukijaribu tu kuongea hivi unafanywa mbaya. Mimi nakumbuka time ya campaign, kuna kijana mwenye aliongelesha Ruto vibaya, the next day hakupatikana, alipatikana amekufa. So hata hiyo freedom yetu ya speech iko curtailed. Kuna mtu ukiongelesha tu hivi anakufanya vibaya. Naona Didmus Barasa aliua kijana juu ya nini? Ya kumconfront. So vitu kama hizo ndio tunafaa tunazimaliza. Na hiyo petition ya kuremove president, mnaona ikisucceed kweli? But kitu yenye najua hii parliament haina 2/3 gender, so kama Maraga alisema ikuwe dissolved, inafaa kuwa dissolved mpaka saa hizi. Basi hata Koome tukimpelekea hiyo, tunaweza anzia hapo, tunaweza dissolve parliament, tuelect watu wengine, tuimpeach mtu kwanza. If kama tunaweza fanya bidii hii parliament ikuwe dissolved ama we recall MPs, itakuwa the easier way. Also hata pia kama tunaongelea injustice, tusiongelee tu injustice Kenya, kuna injustice Uganda, kuna injustice za Congo. Kwanza watu Congo wanamalizwa juu ya minerals. Pia ukiangalia au president wote wameshikana, Museveni, Mugabe, huwa Kagame huyu mwenye amechaguliwa juzi, wote wako wanaenda Congo kumaliza Congo. Tunafaa tuongelee injustices kila mahali. Kama wewe ni mtu wa injustice, usiangalie tu injustice, niangalie injustice. Injustice inaanza kutoka kwako nyumbani. Unafaa ukuwe just from home ndio ukiendelea. Usikuwe tu ati so kitu fulani yako ikifanyika unasahau kama kuna watu wengine wanaumia. Watu wanaumia mahali kwingi. Na venye wewe una feel unaumia, ndio mtu mwingine akifanywa injustice mahali ingine anaumia hivyo hivyo. So hata kama injustice yako umeona imetibika, usikubali injustice iendelee mahali. Jua injustice inaanzaga mbali, inakuja ni kama cancer. Injustice, corruption ni kama cancer. Ina spread. Ni kama wildfires. Ina spread, usipoizima, usipoitibu, itakuja kupate wewe. Unaona kama saa hizi watu wanaangalia, watu wamerespect sana US imekuwa ikifanya injustice, watu tu wakiangalia. Sasa unaona imeleta hiyo injustice yao all the way from US, wamekuja mpaka Kenya, wameleta hizi kampani kubwa kubwa, ndio wanazitumia kuchukua kama airport zetu, hizo minerals nini. Lakini watu wangekuwa na stand from kitambo, vitu kama hizo zingekuwa zinafanyika. Maybe maandamano yetu ingine tunafaa tuende Weston, tunafaa tuende mahali huyu jamaa anakafili. Unajua tumekuwa tukijiumiza tu sisi, tunafaa tuende mahali interest zao ziko, ndo maandamano yetu tunafaa kwa inakuwa centered huko. Unapata watu kama Babu Owino wanakuwa celebrated, unashindwa mtu kama Babu Owino wanakuwa celebrated kwa nini? Ukiangalia CDF alipewa, hakuna kitu amefanyia, hata kama amefanya haziku venye zinafaa kwa zimefanywa. Juu ya nini? Juu anatoa pesa. Vijana I think sijui tutafanya nini, lakini pesa pia ni kitu muhimu sana kwa hii movement. Kama pia itawezekana tutumie pesa ndio tuweze kupata change, I think we should use money. Hata kama ni hiyo sijui wanasema sijui Ford sijui nini, kivyo vyote vile, kama ni pesa itumike tupate change. We need change in every way. Juu after hiyo change kupata ndo tutajua hizi mambo zingine venye zinaenda. Mtu kama Babu Owino alipiga mtu risasi ya shingo, ashikwi, lakini anakuwa celebrated as mwanasiasa yote mwenye ako the current saizi afai kuwa celebrated kivyo yote, wote wako the same, isipokuwa tu Okiya Mtata ndo amekuwa akipigania kitu. Mimi sijaona Okiya Mtata ako na nini. So for me, hata kama ni kuchagua mtu, I think we should all rally behind Okiya Mtata. Nimeona hadi Okiya Mtata amesema hizo nominations za opposition kwa cabinet ni unconstitutional, lakini utapata hakuna constitution inatumika hapa. Hizi vitu siku hizi zinafanywa na kifua. Mimi kwanza, kama kuna mtu wa army hapa, ningemwambia chukueni kitu, sijui mnangoja nini huku kote, kila mahali tunatembea, watu wote hawataki hawa watu. Simchukue tu, you save us from the misery yenye tunapitia, alafu after kuchukua na msikwamilie, mtupatie tu timelines ya elections, tunini juu tuna respect our army. It is the most disciplined in Africa. Sasa hii tukitokea maandamano tujue tuko na media blackout. Hata kama tuko na TikTok kama nini, watu wengi sana kwanza wanangojaga kuona kama maandamano imeanza. Watu wengi wanaangalia kwa TV, wakiona watu ni wengi ndio wengine wanatoka. Unajua si kila mtu wako na roho ya chuma, kuna wengine lazima angalia one kuko vipi ndio watokee. Lakini sasa hivi tuko na pia blackout, pia ni ngumu sana watu kuwa wengi vile. but tunafaa tu try our best. Ukitoka usitoke peke yako, tafuta watu, kuwa in groups. Na pia hata ukienda maandamano unafaa kuwa in groups, juu pia hakunaga mahali ni kama market, akukosagi mwenda wazimu. So pia maandamano hakuwezi kosa wezi na wenda wazimu. Ukiwa peke yako utafanywa vibaya. Kama polisi wataanza kutupatia gas ama nini, na uko na simu yako bado unaona watu wameanza kukimbia, we bado uko kuendelea kurecord, na watu wengine ni goons. Unapata kama mimi hizi maandamano nimeenda, ni watu wawili walichukuliwa simu tukiona time ile tear gas inaanza kupigwa. So unashindwa utafuata mwizi ama ni polisi utafuata tear gas. Inakuwa very hard. Decisions zingine inakuwa ni ngumu sana. So ukiona tear gas imepigwa, wewe shika simu yako vizuri, alafu kama mko group endeni direction moja, ama hata kama mtaenda direction moja usiende kwa watu wenye unaona wanakaa like hao watu tu wanakaa vizuri. Hata wewe mwenyewe unaweza jione, uone tu mtu huyu instincts inakwambia hao wakai vizuri. Naona endelea kurekodi, lakini take care of yourself. Juu bado tunakuhitaji kwa hii struggle. Usiende ujipeleke tu upigwe, uumizwe, fanye nini. Take care of yourself. Enda ukijua unafaa pia urudi nyumbani. Usiende tu kama kitu itafanyika utapigwa risasi bahati mbaya ama nini sawa, lakini inafaa kuwe umejitekea. Hiyo ndio kitu yenye mimi nafaa ndio na nini sana. Jitekea kabisa. Kitu ingine mnafaa mjue, watu watalipwa. Kulipwa nayo serikali iko na masuala ya kulipa. Italipa watu wengi sana. So mtu mnaweza pata mtu amelipwa kama Osama alilipwa, lakini sasa ana regret. Anajaribu kujirudisha. Huwezi jua ni shida gani alikuwa nayo, hata kama ni greed ama nini, lakini kama mtu anataka kurudi kwa movement, for now tunahitaji kila mtu. Hiyo ndio opinion yangu, tunahitaji everyone. Juu sasa hii kitu tunadeal nayo ni system. So tukianza kusema ati usijui ni mbaya, rubani ni mjinga, sijui anafanya watu wasitokee maandamano, wenye tunafaa tumkashifu asitoe hizo video, ama akitoa tulifai kuzipatia engagements. Unajua hao watu wakubwa ndo wanapea engagements. Unapata kama rubani ametoa video, lakini mtu mwenye ana retweet ni mtu mkubwa. Angalia, mtu ana retweet alafu anakota, angalia mjinga. Unapata hiyo video imeonekana, imepatia mtu mwingine uoga. Lakini kama unge retweet ama unge quote, uachane na yeye tu, platform kabisa, hakuna mtu angeona hiyo video, hata wenye wangeona ingekuwa ni kidogo sana. So haingeweza watu wanafaa na retweet na una quote vitu za maana. Unafaa kila kitu ukiona kama hiyo video ni mbaya usinini juu wewe ndo utachangia watu wengine wasitokee. Usijaribu kuretweet na kuquote kitu yenye hata si hapo peke yake, hadi TikTok, Facebook, don't engage na mafools, achana nao. Lakini we need everyone. Hata kama president pia anaweza tu join na tutoe hii system, we need him. Mtu kama alai unapata kila saa sijui ODM sijui this, yani kitu mzuri ikifanyika yako against it. Hiyo iwezekani. Mtu kama huyo amfai mimi siku hizi si retweet kila kitu, naangalia kitu yenye na retweet. Kucode pia unaangalia kitu yenye unafaa ucode. Kama ni kutweet unafaa pia una tweet kitu yenye una believe in. But we need everyone. Hivyo ndo mimi nasema we need everyone, but with boundaries. Boundaries. Kuna boundaries zenye tu tunafaa kuwa tu tumeset. Sema huyu mtu alibaiwa lakini we need him. Lakini akikuja afai kutuambia kitu. Akuje tu kama follower. Tusimpatie ile sauti tena. Kama Osama sahi tusimpe ile sauti. Akuwe tu follower. We need him. Atumbasha tumfanye nini, lakini yeye ni follower. Akitaka kutokea maandamano acha atokee. Si we need numbers, tukue wengi ndio tu overpower polisi. Mtu kama Osama sahi tunafaa arudi yeye ndio kwa anaongoza maandamano huko mbele. Ndio hata risasi ikianza kupigwa impate ya kwanza, at least atakuwa amejiredeem. Au matraitor tunafaa wakuje wakoe mbele. Si wakae nyuma yetu juu anaweza tu backstab. Wakae huko mbele wajiredeem. Obviously boundaries hazitawaisha juu wao walishatusaliti, watakuwa tu wasaliti. Mtu kama anaweza kusaliti huwa anaweza, akikusaliti nyuma yako anaweza kusaliti anytime. Tunaona baba kama amezoea kuhandshake, ana handshake kila mahali. Kila mtu, kila president ni kitu yenye amezoea. Hata akishinda bado tu atakuja handshake. Mimi nimekuwa supporter wa baba for long, but imeisha. Tulikuwa tunaambiwa huyu mtu ana handshake, but we believed in the principles zile zenye tulikuwa tunaona anafaitia. Tulikuwa tunajua anafaitia corruption. Tumemwona kikuwa kwa government of national unity ya Kibaki.
2023, I said this thing is sumu. It's going to haunt this administration. And that was because of the housing levy and other things. And I mean, eventually it was 1 year late, but it came to pass. Now, saying when you go to things like finance bill, you have the right, and it's something that affects you immediately. So I actually supported the finance bill and basically the protests against the finance bill. You can use protests for